Make sure everything is correct before I step. All right. What's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, a.k.a. Mazuma TV. Back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope you had a great day overall, man. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. We're gonna have some great conversations today, man. We're gonna talk about these false narratives that's currently going on in the sport of boxing. Jaron Ennis being criticized for moving up to 154 pounds and supposedly uh ducking Brian Norman Jr. You feel what I'm saying? We definitely gonna talk about this. We're gonna have to take a stroll down memory lane because apparently motherfuckers forget their history within the course of a few months. So we definitely gonna talk about this. You know what I mean? And of course, we're gonna get into some open boxing topics. Um, it was brought to my attention that, my latest video had gotten Brian Norman Sr.'s attention, which is okay. You know what I mean? It's posted publicly so anybody can see it. So I have no type of problem with that. You feel what I'm saying? But I did also invite him to come on the live today if he wants to discuss, anything that he wants to get off of his chest. You feel what I mean? So we could definitely do that. You feel what I mean? Because, I ain't none of these niggas that be on here that's just gonna let you say whatever you gotta say. You know what I mean? And just let you talk that bullshit. You feel what I mean? We definitely gonna have an honest conversation. You know what I mean? And it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. But you know what I mean? He in Japan right now. So what time is it over there? It probably gotta be 10, 11 in the morning. He probably traveling back to the States. So I don't really think it's likely that he's gonna come on here anyway. But regardless, man, he just commented on it. I don't know how long ago it was that he made that comment, but regardless, he made it. The video done got to the Norman's camp. So it is what it is. You feel me? So when motherfuckers want to have that conversation, we can have it. It's easy. You know what I mean? I got links ready for motherfuckers, whoever want to come through and talk that talk. You feel me? You know what I mean? It ain't nothing personal. It's just boxing talk. So shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. If y'all can go ahead and hit the like button, that'll be very much appreciated. You see what I'm saying? We on the road to 3K. We well into the 2K mark. We well into the 2,900 mark. I'm sorry. We're actually about 20 subscribers away from hitting that ultimate goal. You feel what I mean? Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. Let's hit the likes, y'all. We got 12 people in the building. We need 12 likes. Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping, man. Let's talk. Let's talk. How's everybody doing? I see everybody in the comments already. My boy Marlon 2631 with the first comment of the day. He said, "What's up, Mark? I'm chilling, brother. I can't really complain." Coffee Plan, what up? Smoochie, what up? How you doing? Great Gambino. Great Gambino, what up? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, we definitely gonna hit the like buttons, man. I'm just so surprised by the boxing world, bro. It's just like it's frustrating. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It's like motherfuckers really try to find any reason to try to criticize a fighter. You know what I mean? It's like they look for anything negative. They don't ever want to point out the positives or anything of that nature. They see a negative and they just want to talk about that. You feel what I mean? And it is really getting annoying at this point. You feel what I'm saying? Smoochie said, "I'm great, and I hope you and your son and lady are too." Oh, we doing well. They real tired. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Happy Juneteenth to all my people, all my brothers, all my sisters in the chat. You feel what I mean? So I was off from work, but my girl still had to work, unfortunately. And my son, he had a little sickness. You know what I mean? Still in a great mood and stuff like that, which is great. But I mean, they both tired. So I'm the only one awake in the crib right now, as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah. But everybody's sleeping, everybody tired. I'm charged up though. I'm ready for some conversations. Yeah, I could tell just based off of the viewership, coffee, that the notifications did get sent out to everybody. But it is what it is. Marlon 2631 said, "I'm gonna be honest. Norman Jr. a dog in that ring, caught a body on foreign land." I mean, yeah, man, he did what he needed to do. You feel what I'm saying? But I do think, in all honesty, Marlon, this ain't to discredit anybody. Nothing like that. He got a sensational knockout. I think that's definitely a strong candidate for knockout of the year thus far. We halfway into the year. That's definitely one of the ones that have caught my attention by far. However, I do think that based off of what we seen from Jin Sasaki, shit like that was bound to happen. You feel what I mean? Like I think we really gave Sasaki too much credit. You know what I mean? Myself included. I really thought that because it was gonna be in Sasaki's home country that, you know what I mean, he was gonna really bring the fight to Brian Norman. He wasn't gonna take no for an answer. You know what I mean? He was just tailor made for Brian Norman, man. Brian Norman dropped him with a left hook off of the rip in the first round, which I forgot to mention earlier on the live I put on earlier today. He got back up. He couldn't deal with Brian Norman's, punching power at all. This man made zero defensive adjustments. He stood right there in front of Brian Norman. And even when Brian Norman was getting predictable with his punches, like when he was bringing that right hook over the guard, he was bringing it over the guard and shit. Sasaki made no adjustments at all. He was just taking the punches, just systematic. He was just breaking down with each and every punch. The body language was terrible. You could tell he was hurt. You could tell he was ready to go. You know what I'm saying? But with the fighting spirit that he got, you know what I mean, and how the way them Japanese fighters give it up, man, it's like you gotta really get them up out of there. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to beat them to submission. You really gonna have to get him out of there. They don't mind going out on their shield and shit. That's what Brian Norman did without hesitation. So he definitely a killer. Yeah, I mean, like he definitely a killer. And there's people that wouldn't have pulled the trigger like Brian Norman did. Some people just don't got that characteristic in them. So Brian Norman definitely a dog. You know what I mean? He definitely a dog. He definitely a killer. But that's and all due respect to Sasaki and Japan and all that shit. You were supposed to do that to him. You were supposed to step on him. And yeah, I know, Brian Norman Sr., he's a knowledgeable trainer. Like, you don't develop a skilled fighter like that and develop a world champion not knowing nothing about boxing. Brian Norman Sr. was a professional boxer himself. He don't had his highs and his lows in the game. Yeah, I mean, he had a lopsided record or whatever the case is, but that could also mean, a lot of people look at a lopsided record and be like, oh, he a bum, oh, he a bum, oh, he don't know what. Nah, those people are actually the ones that you want around you because they know the mistakes to avoid. You feel what I mean? They know what's good for you in the sport. They know what's bad for you in the sport. I'm sure Brian Norman Sr. done fell victim to the politics of boxing. I'm sure he knows. I'm sure he knows what it's like to be on the B side, and you know what I mean. He knows what the sport of boxing can bring, the good and the bad. So he's actually going to steer his son in a better direction than what he was able to steer himself because he didn't have the knowledge that he has now. He didn't have while he was in the process of going through his career. So you know what I mean? I'm sure Brian Norman Sr. looked at Jin Sasaki and was like, oh shit, this dude tailor made for my son. It's out in Japan. You know what I mean? This will be a good experience for us. Let's do it. You feel what I mean? I think that Brian Norman Sr., he's doing what's best for his son. You know what I mean? He's doing what's best. He knows what his son can handle and what his son should stay away from. You know what I mean? And I thought that was an example of that. Anybody that stands in front of Brian Norman and just willing to absorb punishment from him is a fucking fool. And with the heavy hands that Brian Norman got, because he could definitely punch. He punches like a son of a bitch. I ain't gonna lie to you. Probably the hardest puncher at 147 right now. Even when Boots was there, he probably was a harder puncher than Boots. Mind you, Boots is a power puncher himself. But I just think that you could tell Brian Norman got the heavier hands. I think that Boots is still the more dangerous fighter because he has the speed, he has the athleticism, he has the accuracy. You know what I mean? He has the counter punching ability, the timing. I think that he's better than Brian Norman all around the board, except for like overall punching power. You know what I'm saying? So Brian Norman may be the hardest puncher at 147. I think his father understands that. And he's like, oh, this dude get hit with everything. Well, we'll break him up. And that's exactly why they decided to take that fight because they knew that they had the advantage stylistically. You feel what I'm saying? 88 Sports Talk, what up? He said, once I watched dude fights, I was like, yeah, this ain't going to end well for Buddy. Yeah. I mean, you could watch his highlights and just see. Yeah, I mean, you ain't even got to watch a full fight for somebody like Sasaki. You know exactly what he bringing as soon as you just watch a few clips. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then I watched a few of Brian Norman's just to freshen up on what I already knew about him. And I already knew that the catching and shooting. And I told y'all this yesterday. I said that Brian Norman's best like his most standout skill to me is his ability to catch and shoot. He gets on the defense and then goes right back to the offense, and that could be dangerous for somebody who comes in reckless, who's not moving calculated offensively. You know what I mean? Guys who leave a lot of holes in the process of throwing punches. That a good catch and shooter could be that type of person's kryptonite. A motherfucker who's masterful at catching and shooting will be a reckless fighter's kryptonite. Best believe that. You feel what I'm saying? So Brian Norman does that really well. I seen it in the Santillan fight. And another thing that I noticed, Brian Norman's composure, like I brought up yesterday, it played a factor in this fight as well, because even though Sasaki was getting beat up, he was getting outclassed and shit like that, Sasaki was landing some hooks on Brian Norman. You know what I mean? And Brian Norman, and I seen it in the Santillan fight as well, he began cracked with them left hooks, man. Like, he definitely got to tighten that up. You feel what I mean? That definitely got to be an adjustment that he got to make. It's like whenever dudes throwing combinations and they end it with the left hook, he gets caught. So he definitely got to tighten that up. That's not a good look at all. And you could tell that, it didn't hurt Brian Norman, but you could tell some of them hooks definitely got his attention. Like, all right, you know what I mean? I got to get that back type shit, or, oh, that shit ain't, you know what I mean? I ain't fucking with that. You feel what I mean? We're going to have to, like, try to close this show out. You feel what I mean? And look, man, Sasaki did a terrible mistake, man. It's terrible. This is like rookie mistake, bro. Like, there's no way you like a top contender in welterweight and you making these types of mistakes, especially against a big puncher like Brian Norman. You gonna jab this man to the body, pull straight back. You're gonna pull back in a straight line with your hands down, chin in the air. And this man leads with a left hook with all of his weight behind the punch. This motherfucker lifting off his feet to land that left hook and catches you flush on the chin, bro. Like, you had no other choice but to go to sleep, brother. Like, you had no other choice but to go to sleep. You feel me? And they talking about that this dude don't remember shit. They said that he in the hospital and he don't remember shit from 6 weeks ago. And I'm like, God damn, this nigga done beat the fucking, like, he done knocked the fucking tetrabyte off this nigga head. Like, see, this is exactly why defense is important in the sport of boxing, and this is why you shouldn't listen to these dickheads that be online talking about they need to create a no running rule, and you know what I'm saying? We want to see more action. Oh, we like the motherfuckers want to see all these rock'em sock'em robots. You see that what that rock'em sock'em shit do to you? Should be having you in the hospital bed, and you didn't even know that you fought Brian Norman. You don't remember nothing from the Brian Norman fight. That's what happens when you cater to inconsiderate boxing fans that don't know the sport. That's exactly what happens when you try to appease boxing fans. You know what I mean? Because all you're gonna get on the day, all you're gonna get when you ain't got your faculties. You know what I mean? When you're having some type of neurological damage and you feeling the effects of being a warrior in the sport of boxing, all you're gonna get is a pat on the back and was like, oh man, you was a warrior, man. You was a warrior, man. Fucking ridiculous. Yo, these niggas is weirdos. But you definitely, motherfuckers definitely gotta learn defense, regardless of your ethnicity, your race, where you come from. Please take the time. Even if like the school of boxing you come from isn't big on defense and shit like that, man. Study the greats. You know what I mean? Because they all had some form of defense somehow. You know what I mean? And really get you some sound defense, man. Not just because well, listen, learn you some defense, man. Do it for the betterment of your life. Do it for the betterment of your health. Do it for, when you get to the end of your life or whatever the case is, you're not, shaking or having some type of dementia, Parkinson's, whatever. Learn defense, ladies and gentlemen. You know, getting hit is not cool. Taking punishment is not cool. You know what I mean? And for you to harm yourself in order to please others, that's ridiculous, bro. Hit and not get hit. That's the name of the game. J Cash, what up? 88 Sports Talk said, bro, he looked like Ricky Hatton when Pacquiao started him. He went down just like him, bro. Like the weight, bro, what really gets me is the sound that his head made when it bounced off the canvas, bro. Like that's fucking dangerous. That's what really fucked people up for real. It obviously the punch, it could damage you, but it's the impact that your head goes through when it hits the canvas. That's when it's like whatever damage you received, that's probably going to double or triple that shit up. You feel what I'm saying? I was really questioning whether Jen Sasaki was still on Earth after that knockout. I'm not even gonna lie to you. The way that he just sat there motionless and he didn't even look like he was breathing. That was crazy. Smoochie said he was pissing me off, yelling and taunting while getting fucked up. Well, that's just him just trying to that's what you call that's part of the psychological games right there. You feel what I'm saying? Uh that's part of the psychological game. You're trying to get in somebody's head just to make them question their power. You're trying to discourage them. You feel what I mean? But Brian Norman, he's way too composed. He know what he's doing. He know what he's capable. He know what his power is capable of doing to somebody. And when you doing those little psychological games, what you really doing is admitting that fighter is having a negative effect on you. What he's doing is having a negative effect on you. You feel what I mean? Coffee Plant said, read Marlon question, break it down. Marlon 2631 with a great question. He said, hey, Mark, which is worse, getting KO'd in round one or getting whooped for all 12 rounds? I'm going to keep it real with you. Getting whooped for all 12 rounds is I think that's the worst case scenario that you could ever go through in boxing, because if you get sparked in one round, you know what I mean? It might fuck with your psyche. It might fuck with your mental. It might make you question your ability to take a shot and stuff like that. But you're not going to sustain the same amount of damage, in comparison to somebody who's gotten their ass whooped for 36 minutes. 12 rounds times 3 minutes, that's 36 minutes. So, if you get sparked in one round, you really not taking that much punishment. You feel what I'm saying? Like I said, you might have some doubts within yourself and you might have some type of roadblocks from a mental aspect, but with time, I'm sure you'll be able to heal and recover from that situation. That might be some repairable damage. However, when you're getting your ass whooped for 36 minutes, you taking nonstop punches to the head and body, and that's what's gonna take not only time off of your career, but time off of your life. You feel what I'm saying? So if I don't want to be in either one of those scenarios. And thank God in the little bit of time that I've boxed, I've never gotten stopped. I've never gotten knocked out. None of those situations. I'm gonna say that if I had to go out, if it was one of those options, I'm getting sparked in the first round, y'all. Not just because, and even though that may be embarrassing and shit like that, at least I'll be able to come back. It's a stronger likelihood that I could come back and get back on a positive route in comparison to somebody who's getting their ass whooped for 36 minutes and won't be able to bounce back. You know what I mean? They will be a diminished version of themselves. A lot of what you have and you will be ruined and that 36 minutes of getting your ass whooped. You feel what I mean? For example, we seen fighters get sparked in round one. Who's gotten sparked in one round? Or somebody that's gotten sparked early. Let's see. Who's an example of a fighter that got knocked out early in it? Like I remember Abner Mares got stopped in the first round. You feel what I mean? Like I seen Abner Mares get sparked in the first round. I think the dude's name was like, what was dude's name that sparked Abner Mares in the first round? Let me take a look real quick. It was Johnny Gonzalez. I remember Johnny Gonzalez had sparked Abner Mares in the first round, right? He was able to bounce back. And in the process, that was towards the end of his career. But then, we actually seen him, come back and actually get back in the winning column and shit like that. Then we seen guys who got their ass whooped for 12 rounds straight, like Fernando Vargas. You feel what I'm saying? Fernando Vargas had gotten his ass whooped, and all 12 rounds against Tito Trinidad, he sustained a lot of damage. And to be honest with you, he was never the same after that. You feel what I'm saying? Like he was still getting big fights and stuff like that, but he never was able to bounce back from that ass whooping that he sustained. That's another good example right there. 88 Sports Talk. Shout out to you. You said Lubin versus Jermall. Yeah. And he was able to bounce back and, get some good wins. Jason Rosario, he was still, and you can tell Lubin still got some left in him. Pause. You feel what I'm saying? So, if I had to choose either route, I wouldn't want to experience neither one because both are traumatizing. But the first round knockout, you still be able to you'll leave with more in the tank in comparison to somebody who getting their ass whooped for 36 minutes. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, we just gonna say that. Fernando Vargas took punishment for 12 rounds against Tito Trinidad, got stopped in the 12th round. Never the same. Never the same. He was like the youngest champion in 154-pound history. He doing all this shit. He fight Tito, and he never was able to get that momentum back again. Tito Trinidad, Oscar De La Hoya punished him. Shane Mosley punished him. Motherfuckers just took their turn whooping Fernando Vargas' ass, and he's an example of somebody that they've rushed when they should have took their time with him. You feel me? Shout out to the 33 people that's in the building. Y'all go ahead, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Wilder after Fury, yeah, Wilder took a lot of damage, especially in that third fight, man. The second fight, he took punishment. But the third one, it was bad, bro. And, Wilder hasn't been the same since then. I think the inactivity and the combination of inactivity and the punishment he took from Fury in that third fight, he's not getting that back, bro. A lot of fighting him was lost in that trilogy. A lot of the fight that Wilder had left in the tank was lost in that trilogy with Fury. I'm gonna just say that. Motherfuckers was playing hot potato with Fernando Facts. But Tito started it off and then he wasn't able to bounce back. That's what happens when you accumulate a lot of damage in one fight. And that's why a lot of people was concerned about Devin Haney after the Ryan Garcia situation. Let's keep it real. Miguel Cotto sustained a lot of punishment in that first Margarito fight. Like I brought that example up a couple days ago. And although he was able to come back and get some good wins and win world titles, he wasn't the same fighter after that first Margarito fight. And it was because of the damage, all the damage that he had sustained in that one fight. One fight could change you, bro. One fight could change you. You could take one fight, get your ass whooped, and come back and look like a shell of yourself. Your career could change in one fight. Smoochie said Broner after Maidana. I think that I don't like he took punishment in that fight. Let's not get it fucked up. But I don't think Broner became a shell of himself due to punishment he sustained in the ring. I actually thought Broner was quite durable. I think that his outside activities, his recreational activities outside of the ring, in his personal life, I think that's what killed Broner's career. I don't think it was taking punishment. You know what I mean? He did get a little gun shy and stuff like that, but and seen him on survival mode in a few fights. But I think his outside habits is what got him fucked over, to be honest with you. What? Anyways, let's get into this conversation, y'all. I spoke about it on the video that I had put out earlier. And like I said, it seemed like I got Brian Norman Sr.'s attention because he's in the comments speaking about, let's actually address these comments that Brian Norman responded to my video with. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, if he ends up being on this live, he's always free to come on here to express his opinions. We could definitely have a grown man conversation with no type of confrontation at all. Maybe we could reach some type of understanding because based off of the information that I have, it's hard for me to believe what Brian Norman Sr. is saying. But this is his comments right here. And he says, he gets into a few different comments, but he says, he wrote 3 different comments on the same video. He said, Boots did not try to get a fight done until May 16th. That's public information. So what I think he was responding to was me saying that Boots had fought, or Brian, I forgot who fought first. Was it Brian Norman or Boots? I think it was Brian Norman that fought, and then 2 weeks later, Boots fought. I think that's how that went. Let's verify real quick. It'd be hard to keep up with these dates sometimes. My apologies. But Brian Norman, no, his pop came up. I don't want to see his pop. I want to see the young boy. Damn. Brian Norman. Oh no, I ain't mean to put senior. Brian Norman Jr. Yeah, my fault. So he fought March 29th against Derek Cuevas. And then Boots had fought. Wait. Nah. He fought March 29th. And then Boots fought like in April, right? Yeah, he fought in April. So Norman fought first. Yeah, Norman fought March 29th. And then yeah. So that's what I was saying. So I was like, bro, you fought 2 weeks before the Jaron Ennis did. Why couldn't you know what I'm saying? Why is it that y'all was so pressed on fighting just Sasaki? Why was y'all in such a rush to fight right away if y'all making it seem like unification was the priority? Y'all seem like y'all was so down with the fight. So why even take the Jen Sasaki opportunity when you know that Boots' time is limited in the division? Y'all knew Boots' time was limited in the division. You feel what I'm saying? He also went on to say, Boots said after his fight he was fine and y'all crazy. And I was like, huh? Bro, this is what pisses me off because Brian Norman Sr. is a former fighter, right? And he understands what comes with the game. So he's acting oblivious to this shit. But let me give you guys some clarification. I guarantee you, if Brian Norman was sitting on this panel with me right now, I guarantee you that he done had training camps where he was injured. I'm sure he done had training camps where, to be honest with you, it was a terrible training camp. Um, he had trouble making weight. I bet you he done been in them situations before. There's no such thing as a perfect training camp. You got some type of, you got something's going on. Like I heard Terrence Crawford say, every time he do a training camp, somebody in his family died. You feel what I mean? Floyd Mayweather, this man had hand injuries after every fight, and then he said, and after the Pacquiao fight, well, after he retired, he ended up getting surgery on his shoulder. Andre Ward had shoulder injuries that he never spoke about. So I'm bringing this all up to say, I'm bringing all of this up to say that of course you're gonna sit there in front of the media and say that you had the best training camp. Of course you're gonna sit there in front of the media and say that you don't have a problem making weight. Of course you're gonna sit in front of the media and say that you ain't have no problems coming into this camp. But the reality is that's not true. That's not true. And the reason why a lot of people withhold that information is because they don't want to give their competitors anything to hang their hat on, anything that can motivate their competitors, anything that'll give their competitors an impression that they may have some type of weakness. They're not going to discuss no fighter. No fighter is gonna in the moment say that they had a bad weight cut. They always discuss it after the fight. Nobody's gonna admit that they have any injuries because they know their competitor could use that to their advantage. Nobody is going to admit that they had a horrible training camp because the last thing they want to do is give their competitor a psychological advantage. This is the truth. So when I hear Brian Norman out here trying to be technical and be oblivious to what fighters go through, it pisses me off. I'm not even going to lie to you. He said, Boo said after the fight he was fine and y'all crazy. Then he also went on to say, look it up. So he's countering, he's rebuttaling to my comment that he said that Boots did not try to get the fight done until May 16th, right? This is the thing, Brian Norman Sr. Um, you have a history of giving Boots a tough time in negotiations when y'all didn't have a fight set up. This was before y'all had something locked in with Derek Cuevas. He tried to get a fight done with y'all. Did he not? That's public information. We all seen what happened. We seen the negotiations damn near happen publicly where they done offered up the 1.5 to 1.7 million dollars and y'all had an issue with the money. And y'all said that y'all would take that money, but it'll have to be at a neutral location. But then y'all was asking for upwards of $2.2 million if it were to happen in Philadelphia. Philadelphia was such a problem for Brian Norman and them. They're sitting there acting like they have say-so on where the location is as if they're the A side. Meanwhile, they have no problem fighting Santillan in his backyard for minimal pay. Y'all had no problem fighting in a man's home country for a payday that I'm sure is nowhere near what Jaron Ennis had offered you. So if you're gonna have problems with locations, or y'all gonna be so hell bent on, or if y'all gonna be so cool with throwing fights away due to locations, why didn't the Jin Sasaki fight fall through? Why didn't the Santilla fight fall through? It's because you knew that both guys had the styles that y'all feel like y'all was able to defeat. Let's just keep it real. Y'all didn't find that fight to be as risky as the Jaron Ennis fight. Y'all know Jaron Ennis. Y'all done been in the ring with with them niggas. I done heard this. I done heard stories from multiple people that I know personally that were there, and they all recount the same thing, and that was that your son was getting his ass whooped. You feel what I mean? Was getting schooled. It was definitely, it was two different levels. It was two different levels in that ring that day. I think that's something that stuck with y'all. Y'all knew that y'all wasn't on that guy's pedigree. And I think I even remember an interview from Brian Norman Sr. Brian Norman Jr., where he called him Boots like the final boss. So that just lets you know how they feel about Boots from what's on their mind when they think about Boots. We can go find an interview right now with Brian Norman Jr. calling Boots the final boss. You feel what I mean? Unless that shit got deleted. Hold on. I think YSM had that shit, man. Don't tell me YSM deleted it. Oh wow, I can't find the shit. I cannot find the shit. But regardless, that was a video that took place and they can't deny it. And I'm sure I'll be able to find it in due time. You feel what I'm saying? Wow. That video has went into hiding. That's funny as shit. But anyways, yo, I cannot find this video. Anyways, wait, what you mean? I don't know what I don't know what Marky Dan talking about. That ain't my world. Boxing is my world, brother. I could care less what's going on in the PR team. No, I think I probably got the words mixed up, but he definitely referred to Boots as some type of like the final chapter, like the big dog, something like that. You feel what I mean? So that just lets you know how they felt about Boots at one point in time, and now that idols done turn rivals, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. Now they don't want to. They probably won't allow them to admit that Boots is that guy. You feel what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So that was the comments that Brian Norman Sr. had made. He didn't really say too much. He posted this actually 4 hours ago. So this was around 7 o'clock that he had commented. And I honestly didn't see the comments because I rarely get notified. ETC Boxer said he said Boots the final boss and wanted to save him for an undisputed fight. Yeah, yeah, ETC. Shout out to you, bro. I knew I wasn't tripping, but I can't find the video. So that's crazy. But anyways, so yeah, that was Brian Norman's comments that was sent my way, man. You know what I mean? They definitely be watching, and I feel like I struck a nerve. You know what I mean? That's just me personally. Who's Jeremiah? Why I can't see his comments? Oh, okay. You said I have all the chance beating him at 154. Jeremiah, you referring to Jaron Ennis? All Ray says, who you got pound for pound now? That's not the conversation we having, brother, but you know what I mean? We could definitely get to that in another time. Yeah, I saw the comment. That was a ridiculous comment. To say that all the champions, so you saying So you saying Sebastian Fundora beats Boots? You saying that the WBO is vacant right now, but you're saying that Terrence Crawford could beat Boots? That's possible. You know what I mean? That's one right there. And then you saying Bachman Mortazaliev would defeat Boots? I don't know. I feel like the only one that really concerns me stylistically is Terrence Crawford, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I don't really see how Fundora breaks Boots up. I don't see that shit happening at all. I think somebody like Fundora tailor-made for Jaron Ennis, to be honest with you. Bakram Mortazaliev, I don't know if he got the speed. I think speed is gonna play the difference. I think Boots' hand speed and his accumulation is gonna break Bakram down. Just my personal opinion, but it is what it is. I ain't gonna. If he entitled to his opinion, y'all, we don't got to cook him for his opinion. If he feel like them champions better than him, that's cool. But one thing that we gonna say is that if Jeremiah is saying that all the champions could beat Boots, that should let the people know that Boots is gonna be in a competitive division, because Boots is one of the best fighters in the world, in my opinion. So if he goes into a division and there's people saying that every champion in the division can beat him, then he in a division full of smoke. Is that safe to say? Huh? He said, let's run a friendly. What you mean by that, brother? What you mean by let's run a friendly? You want to come? You want to come up friendly fade? What you mean a friendly fade? What you talking about? Conversation? What you talking about? Coming on here and talking boxing? What you talking about? I don't understand what a friendly fade is. You gonna have to elaborate on that, brother. I don't know what you talking about. That's what I'm trying to figure out. What he mean by a friendly fade? Because I don't know if they got a different definition somewhere else. He said he want to scrap. Well, if he talking about a scrap, nah, ain't no we. First of all, I don't know you to be your friend, and if we run a fade, we definitely ain't gonna be friends after. We definitely ain't gonna be friends after. I don't know who you think you talking to. We ain't friends to begin with. So how the fuck we gonna be friends after we rumble? How the fuck that sound? But if you ever want to find me, I'm in North Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, right? My gym is Pivot Boxing Academy, PIVOTT BOXING ACADEMY. I'm in there Monday through Friday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can always catch me there. If motherfuckers ever want to run a fade, that shit ain't nothing. That shit ain't nothing. I don't give a fuck where you train at. You saying you want to run a friendly fade with me? You say you in Cali? I don't got no. I ain't no use of me going to Cali. So if you really want to run a fade, North Philadelphia, PA, 2807 North 6th Street, 19133. I'm in there Monday through Friday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's really that simple. So it is what it is. Icon MMA. He said 6 ounce or 12 ounce. I'm down. 0 ounce. 0 ounce. How that sound? Like 0 ounce. Says you want to fade, nigga. The fuck? Ain't no such thing as a friendly fade, nigga. I don't know where y'all. I don't know if the niggas do that in Cali. We don't do that over here. The fuck? Niggas funny as shit. As a matter of fact, Zen, you want to come on the channel and talk, brother? Because you talking crazy on this joint. You already know where I be at. We ain't got to do no more rapping, cousin. We really don't. This niggas is. That shit'll get you packed up over here, cuz. You gotta be careful. G Wall 77, that's correct. Yeah. Little Philly boy sub. Yeah, best rapper is Lil Uzi. Okay. The fuck? How the fuck I'm sub, but I'm telling you where I'm at. And you on my dick. Super weird. I'm sub. Super weird. Like you, Zen, you could bring you over here. You feel what I mean? And we could do whatever you want to do. You feel me? Now, one time I turned down a fade. Trust me. But if shit don't go how you think it's gonna go, you feel me? It is what it is. Just make sure you say your name Zen when you pull up though. Just make sure you say your name Zen when you pull up. Oh. Nigga said my chin looks soft, nigga. Crazy. I don't give a fuck who cousin you is. Chavez a cokehead, so you must be one too. You's a bitch just like him. He quit in the ring just like your pussy ass. So what the fuck I'm even tripping about? Demonetized. And I ain't Mayweather's little homie neither. What the fuck are we even talking about? Come pack me up. Come pack me up, son. Come pack me up when you see me. Come to Philly and come pack me up. I promise you it ain't gonna go how you think it's gonna go. Say your name, son, and let's see what happens. I bet you it ain't gonna go how you think it's gonna go. And we could bet whatever money on that. You got 558K subscribers. You probably getting a good little check off YouTube. Let's see. Oh man. Y'all ain't even gotta say nothing crazy to Zun. Yeah, he trolling. Pack him up, bro. Like I said, you know my address, where I be at, is easy. Niggas just talking. Niggas just talking. Pack him up. When you gotta keep talking to dude. We about to keep this boxing chat. Where am I from? I'm from. I already done said where I'm from. Why motherfuckers keep asking me where I'm from? What's gonna if I tell you where I'm from? What's gonna happen? Like, what's gonna happen if I tell you? Then what? Like, I don't understand. Yeah, like niggas just keep talking. Like, I already done answered your questions. I told you that I give you what you want, and you still talking. You packed up Mayweather, little homie. All right, cool. Come pack me up. And I bet you, you fuck around and won't make it out the gym. I promise you that. Niggas be thinking the niggas be talking crazy on the internet. Promise you, I don't see you fuck niggas, man. I promise you, I don't see you fuck niggas, man. That nigga said the fade was gonna bring them closer together, bring us closer together, nigga. That's gonna bring you closer to God, nigga. Fuck out of here, nigga. friendly fade. I never heard of that shit in my life, nigga. What you trying to slap box, dickhead? We don't do that shit over here. The fuck? Stupid ass. Yeah, you gonna get close, nigga. Get close with God before you try to get close with me, nigga. It's fucking with me. That's exactly where you gonna go, nigga. Where I'm from, when niggas had fade, shit could go wherever after that. That's why I avoid it. I got a son to live for, nigga. If I get into a fade, that's me being okay with whatever happens out of it. Whether something happened to me or something happened to you. Fuck. There's somebody comment section asking niggas to run a friendly fade, nigga. Boxing or MMA? Nigga, you can't fuck with me in boxing. The fuck? Packed up Mayweather little homie. Look, Floyd running around with a bunch of bitches. Nigga be having more females with him than niggas. I done seen his security guards get beat up in boxing gyms and all types of shit. You packing his little homie don't mean shit to me. I'm not even talking to you, Hanan, or whatever the fuck your name is. Hanan, whatever the fuck your name is, guys. Dave East, when you drop your next album, that's funny. Everybody light skin, I look like, I guess. But anyways, let's get back to the topic, man. Shit, I be falling off with these topics and shit. Niggas be throwing me up. You feel me? We got 42 people in the building, 39 people in the building. If we could get 39 likes, that'd be very much appreciated. Let's continue on with this conversation and exactly how hypocritical and how contradictory the boxing fans are. You feel what I'm saying? So we got a bunch of people, and recency bias is a motherfucker, man. I'm gonna say that as well because, you know, I could have sworn when Boots was fighting Stanionis back in April, so this was only 2 months ago, a little more than 2 months ago. You feel me? Um, just about 2 months ago, people were saying how Boots needs to move up and he doesn't look good at the weight. He looks drained. After Stanionis, he just need to go up. And, you know, even in the situation where people said that he dug Virgil, and Boots was like, I'm trying to unify before I go up to 154. That shit don't make sense for me right now. Oh, man, just move up to 154, man. Man, you just need to move up, man. Why you staying at 147 calling him all types of weight bullies? I done called that nigga everything under the sun. You feel what I'm saying? And fucking all of a sudden, him going up to 154 is a bad move. Just because this nigga Brian Norman knocked out this bum ass Asian dude. Dangerous Desirability said, did you hear Bill? He said they offer Boots highest payday and he declined. Bro, what is they talking about? Bill Haney just said on that interview with Champside that that's a fight that they want to make later on down the line. He said that that's not a fight that they'll take next. He said that fight's definitely not next. That's something that, you know what I'm saying. He said he had respect for their family, you know the fighter, you know Bozy and shit like that. And he said that's a fight that they want to make, you know what I mean, in due time. They're gonna get to the money in due time. So now Bill Haney coming out and saying that they offer Boots highest payday and he declined. That's hard for me to believe. So how that shit even makes sense? Where'd that come from? Shout out to J Cash. He sent 100 for 2 jewels. Shout out to the boy J Cash. I don't know what that means, brother, but whatever it is, I appreciate you supporting, man. Yeah, that's definitely irrelevant, but that's completely contradictory in my opinion. If you saying on Champ's side that, you know what I mean, uh, you know, the Boost fight is definitely not next, but that's a fight that y'all want to make in the future, then you go on somebody else's channel and say that you offer Boots a career high payday and he turned it down. I don't know what to believe. Those are two different type of statements for me. But regardless, um, let's go back to this Boost situation. So everybody and their mom was hollering from the fucking rooftops for Boost to move up to 154 pounds. Am I right or wrong? After that Stanionis fight, I remember the whole fight week going into the Stanionis fight. The whole fight week going into the Stanionis fight, they were saying how this man needs to move up to 154 pounds. He's drained. He looks like a dead man. The people was even insinuating that Stanionis would defeat Boost as a result of how bad he looked, you know, prior to the weigh-in. Cool. So Boots He's definitely feeling the effects of the weight cut. uh he understands that he's underperforming. He hires a nutritionist, and hiring a nutritionist is a sign. I don't know, like I don't know how the fuck y'all motherfuckers be feeling, but when I hear that somebody is hiring a nutritionist, it's because they're either having trouble with nourishment, hence the nutritionist. They having trouble with their nourishment in the lead up to fights, or not feeling well after rehydrating and stuff like that, or they just having a tough time getting that weight up off of them and they cannot do it on their own. So we hear Boost hires a nutritionist. This man is getting blood work by doctors, and the doctors are telling him, "Yo, you are like you basically malnourished." And I know all about that because I done had health issues myself and had to retire from boxing as a result of that. So what I'm saying is, every sign in front of him is telling him to move up. And then on top of that, it's not like he didn't try to pursue this Brian Norman fight in the past. He done came to Brian Norman on 2 different occasions, and both times they were not able to they were not cooperating effectively to make these fights happen. The first time, we'd already spoke about this a million times. They done had several counter offers. It got up to 1.5 to 1.7 million dollars. They were looking for 2.2 million dollars, and they saying, "Oh, it's only 500,000." All right, but they done came up from wherever the they done came up from the first number significantly. Then all of a sudden, y'all asking for a whole $500,000 on top of that. They in the business to make money, not lose it. So of course, you know what I mean. That shit wasn't able to come together. They knew that they was pricing themselves out. Because let's say uh boosting them would have gave them the 2.2. They probably would have asked for 2.7. It probably would have just kept it probably would have just kept getting dragged along until motherfuckers gave up and pursued something else. And that's exactly what they did. So you out here constantly pricing yourself out. You're not being optimistic about the fight. You know what I'm saying? And then you want to sit around and act like motherfuckers is avoiding you. So when y'all didn't have a fight lined up, they try to come to the table to get some type of fight going with you. Y'all weren't cooperating. Cool. So now you get the Jin Sasaki fight. Yo, these trolls is coming in at full effect. These trolls is coming in at full effect. This shit is crazy. That's how you know niggas is popping off. That's how you know we getting close to that 3K, guys. That's how you know we getting close to that 3K. This shit is insane. So that's how you know we get close to that 3K. These niggas is locked in, bro. Y'all gotta keep them wrenches sharp, man. They coming in guns blazing. Anyways, um, so then when y'all was in the process of getting this fight done with Jin Sasaki, and everybody and their mom knew that it was a cakewalk, in all honesty. If anything, if there was anything we did wrong, we overestimated Jin Sasaki's abilities. We seen that he was a bum, but we tried to give him the benefit of the doubt because we knew that it'll be an exciting fight stylistically. Cool. So they come up to you in the process of you getting that Jin Sasaki fight, and they trying to get some reassurance. That's what they looking for. Yo, is there any way that we could come to some type of agreement for you to face Books next after the Jin Sasaki fight? Oh, I'm not negotiating with anybody while I got a fight lined up. Oh, I got a fight lined up. We can talk after the fight. All right, but we've already seen, due to your prior history, that you're not willing to cooperate when you don't have a fight lined up. So why are we gonna sit here and waste time sitting around wondering whether you're gonna take a fight or not when you're not even giving us any type of reassurance? You're not giving us no reassurance. How the fuck do we know that you being honest in this situation when you've ducked us previously? So Boots, knowing that his time at 140 is limited, motherfuckers got a stopwatch for this man Jaron Ennis in the 147-pound division. What does he do? He not about to sit here and wait for these phony games. This bitch ass nigga Mario Barrios about to fight a 46-year-old nigga. This motherfucker Brian Norman fighting guys like Jin Sasaki in his home country when he wouldn't even fight Boots in his country, in his own country. You know what I'm saying? Boots' hometown advantage was such a fucking issue, but fighting somebody in their home country was not an issue at all. It's a bit contradictory to me. So, what does Boots do? What the fuck is in his best interest? He unified the division. Stan Jonas was the only one to get this man an opportunity. You feel what I mean? He wasn't able to accomplish his goal at being that undisputed. He told you guys, he gave you several examples of guys in the past who have stood at weight classes too long and fucked themselves over as a result of that. He noted Earl Spence, he noted Raymond Ford, he noted Stephen Fulton. All guys that fell victim to staying at weight classes too long. You feel what I'm saying? You think he want to fall victim to that? No, he's learning from these dudes' mistakes. So he went and did what was the next best option. He did what was best for him, which is putting on that additional 7 pounds, being in a more dangerous division, and taking on better competition than Brian Norman. Let's be honest. There's people that are more formidable threats at 154 than Brian Norman is at 147. Yeah, Brian Norman could punch. Yeah, we understand that he can be dangerous. Yeah, we know that he could hurt somebody with a single shot. However, there are more dangerous threats at 154 pounds. Let's just be honest. What? I don't know what that nigga talking about, but slime packing, so he probably said something goofy. No entiendo. Pero tu madre es muy bonita. Yeah, pack him up, please. Somebody pack him up. No hablo español bueno, pero tu madre tiene, tiene un culo bien grande. Girl, you look good. Won't you back that ass up? Girl, you look good. Won't you back that ass up? You a fine motherfucker, man, and back that ass up. Anyways, yeah, it's definitely some Caitlyn Jenner shit going on, man. Y'all just keep them wrenches sharp. You're that graveyard getting crazy and crazy. I gotta buy more land. I gotta get a couple more acres to pack these bodies, cuz. You're but you know what I'm saying? So this is how fickle the boxing fans are. And this is why I said in the video earlier today that boxing fans are some of the worst fans in sports, period. Baseball, football, basketball, and trust me, there's fickle fans in each sport that I've named. But I don't think that they are as populated as the sport of boxing. I don't think the fickle fans are as dense. I don't think that there's more fickle fans than any other sport than boxing. Let's just keep it real, bro. So we sitting here, they was begging and pleading Boost to move up to 154 around that Virgil Ortiz situation, and then the time where he looked like motherfucking Skeletor on that scale against Stanionis. But this dude actually follows through with what the people recommend after he unifies in the division and becomes the number one welterweight in the division and actually beats a champion for his belt. He leaves the division. Then all of a sudden, Brian Norman says, man, I was really expecting, man, I was looking forward to getting that one fight, but they seen the storm coming, so they just grabbed their boots and they ran. Indirectly calls out Boots, a subliminal shot at Boots. And all of a sudden, oh no, man, no, Boots moved up to avoid Brian Norman. So did he move up because y'all suggested him to move up after his fight with Stanionis, or did he move up because he ducked Brian Norman? Y'all motherfuckers just be flipping and switching narratives whenever the fuck y'all feel like it. Y'all be telling these false, and this is why I don't really that's why I really don't engage in the comments like I used to, right? So there's this dude that did an interview with Sean Sattel, right? The dude name is like Sean something. He True School Sports or something like that. A little weird nigga. You know what I mean? He a little weird. He looked like a little Puerto Rican dude. He a weird. He a little weirdo. You feel what I'm saying? He be in Japan acting. He weird. You feel what I mean? He is square. You can tell. You know what I mean? He the type nigga that I don't know. He look like he sniffs bitches chairs and shit like that. He like one of them type niggas. Shy Rider West Sider, what up? He was sitting here talking about how oh shit. Oh shit, sound like they fighting outside. I love a good mix. I thought that nigga Zen pulled up on me, man. Oh, man. Did this nigga just tiptoe away? I was tiptoeing to the burner. Like my nigga Berlanga did with Shiraz. I was about to air this bitch out. It's like, no, that's my fat angry neighbor. That's my obese angry neighbor coming at her daughter. Don't fucking dig in that trash can. I'll fuck you up. We don't do that shit. You know what I mean? She was there wilding. Shit, I forgot what the fuck. No. So that's what I was saying. That weird ass Brandon Taylor dude or whatever. Super weird. His pop's cool because I used to watch his pops and shit. But Brandon Taylor on here, it's really saying here. First of all, he be bigging up these Japanese dudes, right? So his boy Sasaki got put to sleep. So now he's trying to redirect that energy towards Jaron Ennis and shit like that, talking about how that Boots don't got a significant win yet in his career, blah, blah, blah. We need to see the Brian Norman fight. Ain't no reason why he should be moving up and all this bullshit. Yo, she going crazy. Yo, she going, yo, this shit crazy. Nigga said, what you guys ate today? I bet your fat ass don't want to know what we ate today. He looking for some inspiration, y'all. Don't tell him. Kyle Hayden 999 says he probably waited as long as possible to make the decision, but cannot get the fight he wanted, plus a doctor recommendation as well. Yeah, so the motherfucker do something that's in his best benefit. You feel what I'm saying? And this the thing, right? Let's say if Boots would have fought Brian Norman, or he fought whoever, whether it was Teofimo or whatever, and not even talking about the result. Let's just say he underperforms. Even if he wins, let's just say he underperforms. You know what people gonna say? Should have moved up to 54. He stood at the weight too long. Let's say Boots came up short in one of those fights, and you could just tell he wasn't himself. Oh, Boots should have moved up to 54. Oh, he was weight drained. He shouldn't have been at the weight. Blah, blah, blah. So the motherfucker moved up in weight, and now y'all saying, y'all using that as a way to say that he ducked somebody. It's atrocious, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you. You feel what I mean? And what the current state of boxing, and it's always like I said, it's always like this for black fighters. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. What? Worry about that light corner, damn. What you mean that light corner, nigga? What you talking about? But what you talking about, light corner? Worry about that light corner. I don't know what you talking about, brother. Nigga said that he exposed crypto scammers. L Dub, what up? In my hair, man, I just gotta brush my shit. Nigga, stop playing with me, nigga. I just don't be brushing my shit. That's what it be. Fuck is you talking about? Nigga, you see how fast that shit go away? Where that light corner at now? You big juke, you big viscerous built ass nigga. Fuck is you talking about? I ain't got no light corners, nigga. You thought, bitch ass nigga. Nah, my hair ain't thinning, cuz. Not yet. I don't think it ever will for real. You know what I mean? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Don't be hating. Don't be hating, nigga. Anyways, what y'all thinking, man? So what's the consensus with this whole Boost situation? You feel what I mean? I definitely think it's some contradictory shit coming from, these boxing fans, and it's disappointing in all honesty because, you know what I'm saying? Y'all was just supportive of the weight move up when he was in the process of unifying the division. Now that he's actually doing the move up, all of a sudden motherfuckers got problems with it. Oh, he said I look like Billy Soros? That's crazy. I don't look nothing like that. Gay ass nigga. That's wild. You feel me? Blood Rush Entertainment in the building. He said, I'm not surprised Brian Norman knocked out his recent opponent, but I'm still not as highly impressed because black fighters, we always had more physical gifts from our genetics and more skill. Shout out to Blood Rush Entertainment, man. Marky Dan said Boo's doing what he's supposed to do. Norman would have got beat dead. I don't even want to talk. Like, I'm not even trying to, because that's what I personally believe as well. But it's like, that's not even what I'm trying to get into. It's just like Brian Norman and them, the arrogance of them to blatantly duck Jaron Ennis when they had multiple negotiations. They done been offered to fight on multiple occasions, and they didn't choose to pick up the fight in neither situation. And y'all really sitting here, uh, y'all really sitting here. I forgot. I'm sorry. L Dub comment really threw me off for a little bit. He says, "Is there any push from the Philly boxing community for Boost to get some payback versus Tellez for beating J Rock?" Not really. I think it's because we all understand that. First of all, to be honest with you, J Rock never really had the support that Jaron Ennis did. You know what I mean? And it probably had to do something with J Rock having a short reign as a champion and things of that nature, or he didn't have like the biggest hype around him. He didn't really have the performances that Boost had on his come up and shit like that. So that's probably why. And plus, like J Rock, in his first big opportunity, he came up short. You feel what I mean? So I don't really think he had the support that Philly had. So I don't think there's really a push for that. But in all honesty, I would love to see Boots get his. I would love to see Boots get his lick back for J Rock just on some Philly shit. You feel what I mean? I would like to see that shit happen. Why not? I would like to see J Rock. I would like to see Boots beat the shit out of Joe and his tellies for that bullshit. I would like to see him whoop his ass overall, even if he didn't fight J Rock. You feel what I mean? But I think that the Tellez fight makes sense. And I'm hearing Brandon Taylor talk about how Yoenis Tellez saying that he's not a formidable opponent for Jaron Ennis. Why wouldn't he be? He's an undefeated He's an undefeated Cuban fighter with good skills, a shit ton of potential, and he has a WBA interim. If you want to put yourself in position to be, see, this is what people don't understand, yo. If you want to be in the best situation possible to get a world title in the division, if you're not getting a world title shot right away, you go after the interim belts off the rip. If you can't get the big titles, get the interim belts because the interim belts will put you in position to fight for the bigger titles. Regis Prograde. Regis Prograde. Niggas is acting like fighters, cuz. What's you supposed to do, bare knuckle or something, nigga? Go sit your dumb ass down. Yeah. Devin Haney's son wilding on her. Go sit your goofy ass down. Go do bare knuckle or something, nigga. Go get your lick back. Go get your lick back against Jack Catterall. You know what I mean? But that's what people don't understand. You feel me? If you're not getting an immediate title shot going into a division, or you know what I mean, if motherfuckers is occupied or whatever, and you trying to skip the line in terms of getting an opportunity in comparison to all the other contenders that's at 54, grab you an interim title. That's going to give you that's going to put you in position to fight for the big belts or get you into some bigger fights. You feel me? That's a pause, Slime. You wildin'. Seek help immediately. Dev took you to private school, taught you. Nigga said private school, not school, private school. Yo, that's hilarious. Eddie said Boo's likely fighting in August. That's another thing that I wanted to point out, Kyle. And I would have loved to have asked Brian Norman Sr. this question. And I forgot what day. I think he said like October, November. He said that I think Brian Norman Jr. said that they coming back October, November, right? So you saying that you was willing to fight Jaron Ennis next and shit like that. Boots got a fight date of August. So if he had a fight day of August, why didn't you put yourself in the mind frame that all right, I'm gonna do a quick turnaround in August? You ain't taking no punishment against Jen Sasaki. You know what I'm saying? So you can make a quick turnaround. You active, cuz you fought in June. You can come back in August. You can rest for a couple weeks and get back in the gym. Your father said you don't blow up that much in weight, so why you can't make the quick turnaround and come back in August? Y'all criticized Jaron Ennis for not making a quick turnaround for Virgil Ortiz, right? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Y'all was criticizing Boots for not doing a quick turnaround for Virgil Ortiz and on that February card when he fought Majumov. Why can't Brian Norman, make that quick turnaround from June to August to fight Jaron Ennis? Why not? Can't Boots fight Bachram? I don't know. They saying that Bachram possibly gonna fight Josh Kelly or some shit. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know how that's gonna work. They say he about to fight Josh Kelly. I don't know how Josh Kelly got in that position because I swore Erickson Lubin was the top guy for that opportunity. And I heard Erickson Lubin talk about facing Bachram. That seemed like something he would. And we all know Erickson Lubin with this shit. He ain't got no problem going into no smoke. So I don't know exactly what happened with that situation. Saying Bachram about to fight Josh Kelly though. Josh Kelly has done nothing at 154. He's about to fight for the IBF. But that's the IBF rankings for you, man. You don't got to do much to be the number one guy or or fight for the IBF nowadays. You don't. Norman Sr. said they would be ready on the August Saudi card. All right, if that's the case, L Dub, if he did say that, then why is Brian Norman Jr. Saying that he's gonna come around? I think he said he gonna return in November, October, November. Why did he say that? Seemed like him and his father not on the same page. I don't know. I just need some clarification, bro. I'm not really trying to sit here and shit on nobody. I just need answers. You feel me? I know Josh Kelly had gotten packed up by David Evanesian, but I think that was at 47. He ended up moving up to 54, and I think he got a couple wins. And now he about to fight Bakr Murtazaliev. L-Dub said Bakr fought as mandatory. In his last fight, he is allowed to do a voluntary next. Lubin gets the winner. Okay, cool. Well, it sounds like Bakr booked up then. If he got a voluntary defense and then he got a mandatory right after that, it don't really sound like Boots really got, anything lined. It don't sound like he got an opportunity with Bakram just yet. So where's he gonna go? Sebastian Fundora about to rematch Tim Tszyu. Terrence Crawford occupied with Canelo Alvarez. The WBO is about to be the WBO is vacant, and Xander Zaya is about to fight the guy who just beat Charles Conwell for the belt. So what's the next best option? It seems like Ioannis Tellez is the next best one. Charlo, that's a good fight, but Boots is looking for a belt. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I think Jermall Charlo, and I think that's a dangerous fucking fight, especially at 54. But we got to see how Jermall, how he fits into this division now, because he is the man to beat, to be honest with you. But a lot of shit done changed since he left. Let's keep it real. A lot of shit done changed since he left. He said what? He said fight for the IBO again. I don't think, and listen, that's a world title at the end of the day, but it's not giving that same respect that them four major titles get. You know what I mean? I don't even think the IBO get the same respect that fucking the Ring Magazine gets. Especially since Turkey Al-Sheikh been behind the Ring Magazine. They've been popularizing that belt a little bit more. Blood Rush Entertainment says timing really matters a lot in boxing. I believe it. I believe it favors Boots if he fights Crawford in 3-4 years. If Crawford is still fighting, Crawford, like Canelo, is unfortunately going to decline more as he ages, and that's just natural. Like I said, like they say, as the cliche goes, Father Time is undefeated, right? So of course, as Bud gets older, he's going to lose a step. The same thing's going to happen to Boots once he gets up in age. Nobody is exempt from Father Time. Trust and believe, unless they under some type of, juicy juice. You feel me? Nobody's exempt from Father Time. So, uh, yeah, as Bud gets older, Boots has a bigger opportunity. But I don't think that fight will ever happen. Like I said, I think that Bud, maybe if Bud loses, he goes back down to 154. But I genuinely believe that if he defeats Canelo, which I think he very possibly can, I think he will ride off into the sunset. Bomac told us this on my interview with him. All you gotta do, Mazuma TV, Bomac. Just click that in the search bar, listen to that full interview. It was a great informational interview. Um, Bomac said that. I said, "Yo, is Bud gonna be done? If he gets this fight with Canelo Alvarez, is he gonna come back?" He said, "Man, he might not." He pretty much was like, "Nah, he might just walk away." So we got to pay attention to shit like that because there's not many. Bomac's the closest person to Terrence Crawford, to be honest with you. So I don't know. I don't think the Boots fight will ever happen. I think that's always going to be a fantasy fight in people's head. When Boots accomplishes what he accomplishes, oh no, we got to pack him. Oh yeah, shout out to Ralph. Yeah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. He beat me. My boy Ralph beat me to the wrench. You heard? Shut your bleed ass up. Facts. What was they talking about? As soon as the bell ring versus Canelo, Bud will be stripped of the WBO interim title. No, the W. Oh yeah, the WBO interim title. Facts. Interim. I forgot. Bud had the interim. Wait, how did Bud get that? Did they just gifted him that, or was it on the line versus? Was that on the line versus? Yeah, that was on the line versus Madrimov, right? I need some clarification. It'd be a lot to keep up with these belts. Retro, what up? Could somebody clarify that for me? Did they hand Bud the WBO interim, or did he fight for that with Madrimov? How did that happen? 'Cause I know. Obviously, he had the WBO at 147. So when he moved up, he was in line to fight for the WBO. But something happened where he ended up fighting Madrimov for the WBA. So did they just gift him that interim title, or what? I'm confused. I need some clarification. They saying somebody saying that they saying that hold on. Somebody saying that Bud already vacated his WBO interim title. They saying he already got rid of it. Says Terrence Crawford has vacated his WBO interim junior middleweight title. This decision was made because he will not return to the 154-pound division after announcing a fight with Canelo Alvarez at super middleweight. The WBO will now elevate the winner of Fundora versus Booker fight to a full status champion, and Xander Zayas is likely to be named the mandatory challenger. Oh, they spreading false information on here then, L Dub. Hmm. Well, I guess it didn't happen yet. Okay. That's good to know. Guess you can't believe everything that's on the internet, right? Huh? No, it wasn't ChatGPT. It was Google. It was Google. Damn, Google came up short in that, John, huh? Okay. But good to know. Shout out to L Duff for keeping me informed, keeping the boy in check, man. Shout out to the nation for always keeping me in check when I slip. You feel me? Outer Pal said, I wouldn't care if Canelo did get robbed. Be a taste of your own medicine, and he would know how it feels. Exactly. Your girl socked you in your eye while you got glasses on. Slime the only nigga that think he could roast. Nigga's not funny. He said, I remember ChatGPT told me Devin Shakur beat Tank easily. Really? That's crazy. I never used ChatGPT for like boxing shit. I think I used it one time to set up like my Mazuma TV boxing awards. He put makeup on it, yo. Carmen, you know better than that. Makeup ain't never touched my face a day in my life. Don't be hating because I'm all natural, Carmen. Don't be hating. No effort. Rogers the second says, are the rumors true that July 12th card won't be 18 by 18 ring due to Shiraz not signing off? I did hear that, but they didn't disclose whether it was Shiraz or not. They said that everybody else has signed off on it besides one fighter. So based off of that, they're gonna keep it a 20 by 20 ring. And a lot of people were speculating that it was Shakur. But according to the information that I saw, uh Shakur actually signed off on it. He didn't mind it. You feel me? But that was just the information that I heard. I don't know who disapproved of it. I don't know who approved of it. I just heard that they was trying to get an 18 by 18 ring, but I guess a fighter overrode that decision. And shout out to whoever that fighter is. You know what I mean? Like y'all really trying to sit here and trying to like y'all really doing y'all best to try to make it hard for certain styles to thrive in the sport of boxing. And I'm not with that shit. If y'all motherfuckers is real fans of the sport and y'all really are for the sport of boxing, then you know y'all shouldn't mind having outboxers in the game. Y'all should learn to appreciate every style. You can have your preferences, but you should learn to respect every style that comes with the sport. Respect the counterpuncher, respect the brawler, respect the outboxer, respect the boxer puncher. You know what I mean? Respect the defensive specialist that may have to use his feet in order to be a defensive specialist. You feel what I mean? That's just my personal opinion. So shout out to whoever didn't sign off on that because you know what I mean. Turkey Al-Sheik, that type motherfucker there because you know he putting some money into the game. You know what I mean. He think he could. He think he could alter shit and change shit. He already doing weird shit like having niggas ride up in boxing rings in a taxi cab in the middle of motherfucking Times Square, trying to have niggas rumble on Alcatraz and all this bullshit, and just instead of just keeping boxing, keeping the tradition with boxing, having niggas fight in regular arenas, having motherfuckers fight in actual like in regular venues. Y'all overcomplicating shit. Sometimes simple is better, man. Cut it out. All jokes aside, you should always come on the live with those glasses on. Chat GBT definitely yeah, they definitely be telling you what you want to hear, Karma. But if you tell them to like not tell you what you want to hear, I remember the one time I was like I said, give me the pros and cons of this, like a personal situation I had. And they gave me the rundown. And I was like, you know what I mean? What do you think is best? And they kept it real. So I think it just depends on if you demanded to do certain things, it'll take that approach. You feel me? So if you be like, play devil's advocate, blah, 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 blah. I think blah, blah, blah. What do you think? It's gonna go against you. It's gonna do whatever it tell you to do. You heard Shiraz and Puello? Okay. I'm sure that information will come out in due time. I'm sure somebody in the media will ask that question. Like I said, whoever Chad GBT made my resume, it made mine too. That's funny. I just had to fill mine out. I wrote a will. Well, Chad GBT wrote my will for me. and set it up on a PDF where all I had to do was print it out and had a witness to sign it. Like ChatGPT is very convenient for like important shit. Like it's really convenient. So it wrote out my will for me. And said, yo, just tell me who this person's gonna be, who's gonna be in charge of this, who's gonna be in charge of this, who's this gonna go to, blah, blah. It wrote it out for me, printed it out, got it done, boom. Simple. ChatGPT made my cover page too. It made my cover letter too. That's funny. Shout out to the boy Comfy playing in the building. He said, yo, did you see Chris Eubank Jr. has ordered to appear in front of the British Boxing Board of Control to explain his use of sauna to cut weight? Yeah, I did see that. I didn't even know that was a thing. Apparently, the British Boxing Board of Control bans like the use of a sauna to cut weight. And I could understand why, because it could really drain you, and it could cause harm. It could definitely harm you in a sense. You know what I mean? Losing too much liquid in the body, that could cause severe dehydration. That could cause, you could lose fluid in the brain as a result of that. Like that could be a very dangerous situation. And that's why I don't really have my guys wear sauna suits. You know what I mean? I'm not with that at all. You feel me? That could have some real detrimental effects on your body and your overall performance. Because the last thing you want to do is be drained of all the water in your system and then take punches, 24 hours later. That could really fuck with your health, man. So I see why they banned it, but at the same time, it's like I don't know. I think they're a little bit too. I don't know. That is a bit strict in my opinion. Like I think that they should. I think they should recommend against that. I don't think they should advise fighters to use those type of things. But at the same time, it's like you telling somebody how to cut weight is kind of crazy. The only thing that I was saying, don't use PEDs to cut weight. You feel me? Don't use PEDs to cut weight. But you shouldn't have, I don't know if they should be that hands-on how people go about, cutting weight. Everybody got different things, whether it's good or bad for them. People got different ways of cutting weight. I don't know. Seeing Sugar Nunez wants Foster on the Spanish channel. You better stop running away from that Raymond Ford ass whooping. Stephen Fulton getting that Oshaki opportunity. You better stay focused because Raymond on his ass. Pause. But I'm gonna give the British Boxing Board of Control they props though, because they was on Conor Benn. They wasn't playing with Conor Benn. They don't play with steroid use neither. And I hope they do the right thing. They've been taking mad long, bro. They need to do the right thing and reverse that Munguia win to a no contest. Did they do that yet? I need to know. That shit is ridiculous. I think Jaime Munguia still got that motherfucking win on his record. That's disgusting that it's been up that long since, he failed his B sample. That needs to be reversed immediately. Come on, man. That's still on there. What is we waiting for? They need to start giving PED users losses for using PEDs. I ain't even gonna lie to you. They need to start giving fighters losses. Uh-oh. Cool boy finna 9-3 Foster. Shit, I hope. I ain't gonna lie, I don't really fuck with Foster like that. Damn, Kyle, that's a crazy pause. He said they are to lay the lumber into Munguia. That's crazy. You need to relax, brother. I'm act like I ain't see that shit. I'm on my Ray Charles shit. You wildin'. Lorenzo with Tucker. I think Tucker. I don't know. Son just tell me Tucker gonna pull that shit up, bro. Tucker is real stubborn. You feel what I mean? He got a lot of grit. But Lorenzo, I don't know. Lorenzo definitely gained. But I don't know if Lorenzo done fell off to me, man. That real disappointing and underwhelming career so far in comparison to what I thought he was gonna do. I'm gonna say that. For me, I think Tucker gonna pull that off though. But if Lorenzo is able to get that, he might get himself back on track. Chuck said he's back. Mad again. So let's see if he's motivated. He definitely motivated. So we'll see. Blood Rush Entertainment said, I personally rank Holyfield over Lennox Lewis. To me, his resume is stronger. He faced Prime Riddick Bowe 3 times, beat him 1 time, beat Prime Mike Tyson. I don't think he beat Prime Mike Tyson, brother, but George Foreman, he beat more dangerous versions. I disagree with that. I feel like Lennox Lewis, first of all, Lennox Lewis, he got the draw against Evander Holyfield, but he beat dude both times, to be honest with you. He could have fought Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe historically, and everybody knows this is public record. He avoided Lennox Lewis. He didn't take that fight with Lennox Lewis, and that's one of the biggest what if fights that's currently discussed in the sport of boxing. I don't know. I feel like Lennox Lewis got a slept on resume himself. Whether we say, he left his career beating Vitaly Klitschko, who went on to dominate the heavyweight division shortly afterwards, and is one of the most dominant heavyweights of these past few eras. Vitaly Klitschko, we talking about Ray Mercer, Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, Andrew Galata, David Tua, Hakeem Rahman, Oliver McCall. He got a Lennox. If I was to really look through Lennox's fucking resume right now, bro, that should be ridiculous, bro. I honestly feel like Lennox Lewis top 5 heavyweights of all time. And Holyfield's on there as well, but I wouldn't put him over Lennox. You know what I mean? Francis Bofa, Michael Grant, Shannon Briggs, who's a 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. Yeah, Tommy Morrison, Frank Bruno, Tony. I remember Tony Tucker, Razor Reddick, Tyrell Biggs. I remember Tyrell Biggs. I remember when he fought. I remember when Tyrell Biggs fought motherfucking. Was it Mike Tyson? Who was it? Who was it that? Nah. Yeah, he fought Mike Tyson. I remember that. Like I remember those things. Raylan, what up? But anyways, man, let's get into some open boxing topics, man. Yeah, I mean, I spoke about the Jaron Ennis being criticized for moving to 54, and this whole Brian Norman saying that Jaron Ennis ducked Brian Norman, man, it's disgusting work. Brian Norman and them trying to erase history, like they trying to sit here and really spin this narrative that Jaron Ennis moved up to avoid them when the whole time he done tried multiple times to try to get them to agree to a fight. Like it's disgusting work out here, man. Coffee Plant said, "Yo, why Bud having dinner with the enemy?" That had to be something that Turkey Al-Sheik arranged. I guess out of respect for Turkey, Terrence Crawford did it. But that's a little bit too. See, this is how you know, like Turkey doing too much, bro. Like he be on weird shit, bro. I'm trying to tell you, like that's how you know he ain't really got. And I don't really expect him to have the mind frame of a fighter, but at the same time, he need to respect the mentality of a fighter in terms of they ain't no friends in this shit. You know what I mean? It ain't necessarily personal, it ain't necessarily beef. You know what I mean? We could be cool after the fight, but you having niggas have dinner with each other. This nigga got a whole he got everything on the table that Slime like. That motherfucker, That motherfucker would have invited Slime, them niggas would have left that bitch hungry. And everything that was on that table, Slime fuck with. That shit had that nigga blood pressure was through the roof when Slime seen that shit on the table. Like that was absolutely insane. Why would you put all those different types of spreads and sauces knowing that Slime watching you on Instagram, nigga? Slime told these niggas that was real selfish of them to be doing that. You know you in Puerto Rico rubbing two pennies together trying to buy an empanada, and these niggas over here having a feast in front of you. Absolutely disgusting. But anyways, I don't like the idea of them having dinner together, bro. Me personally, I would have declined that. You know what I mean? If Turkey wanted to speak business with me or whatever the case is, then we could have just had a one-on-one. Motherfucker, we could have had a quick little business meeting or dinner, whatever the case is, chop it up, and then I could just go about my way. I don't really like the friendly shit, man. But like I said, I guess you can make motherfuckers make exceptions when you putting a nasty bag on the table or a good bag on the table. You heard? So Bud looked like he didn't want to eat. How a nigga look like he don't want to eat coffee? Maybe you're right. I don't know. Like, but me personally, bro, like as dangerous as boxing is, and I know that you willing, like if it really go there, I know that you wouldn't have a problem taking my life. I'll be uneasy. I wouldn't be comfortable sitting there eating with that man because, you know what I mean, you signed a dotted line to possibly take me away from my family. Why would I want to be cool with you? I don't want to be anywhere near you until we throw hands. I don't even want to be next to you when we at the press conference, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, those are obligations. Sitting down having dinner with the enemy, that's not an obligation. Me personally, I wouldn't have done that. Yeah, the press conference is tomorrow. So tomorrow when we go live, we'll be giving our reaction to the press conference between Canelo and Terrence Crawford. You know what I mean? Was an undercard? Does anybody know if an undercard was announced for Terrence Crawford and Canelo? Because on BoxRec, the last time I checked, they didn't have any undercard revealed on there. So I don't know. Or did I miss some news or did I forget some news? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna react to the press conference tomorrow. You said Bachman fighting on the undercard. Well, that's lit. But as of right now on BoxRec, only Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford are named. So I don't know what's going on with that. You think Bud and Canelo gonna fight twice? I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, I mean he giving Bivol and Butterbean a trilogy, so why not? Bud is boy. That's one of his favorite fighters. He gonna put him in position to make money. But if Bakram Murtazaliev is getting added to the card, that's lit. I like it. I want to see a little bit more of Bakram. I feel like, after that Tim Zoo fight, ain't really been much to really see from him. You know what I mean? So Rogers the second said they said Jen lost 6 weeks worth of memories after the knockout. How did they even do that? How did they determine that? They just started going past the weeks. Like, do you remember this? Do you remember that? But hope that's very sad to be honest with you, and I really hope that he regains his memory as he heals from this, knockout. You feel what I mean? He probably can't remember too much because he's probably still, he's suffering from a concussion. But I'm sure, hopefully, his memory restores after he heals from that concussion because that's sad, bro. That's very sad, and what I mean, that's not something I ever want to see fighters go through. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind seeing a good ass whooping and shit like that, but at the same time, I do have a heart and I do have empathy for these fighters. I've seen fighters that I knew personally that are currently, dealing with the effects that came from boxing, and it's really sad to see. You know what I mean? So, hopefully he regains his memory as he heals from this, situation, and hopefully Jen is, uh he bounces back fully off of this, not just from a boxing standpoint, but from a health standpoint, because that's a scary situation. You definitely can't play boxing, Roger. You're absolutely right. This nigga knocked a month and a half out this nigga, bro. Worth of memories. That's 42 days worth of memory that's gone. I really hope that he could get that shit back. That's serious, bro. I remember Tim Bradley said after the Provodnikov fight that he couldn't talk straight for like 3 months. I think Bradley said that shit, that he couldn't talk straight for like 3 months. Anonymous said he definitely got power, but Jen also has absolutely zero defense. I would love to see the punch percentage stats. Norman looked like a Navy SEAL sniper. That's a fact. He looked like he couldn't miss, bro. Like that shit, that nigga punch percentage is definitely. If it wasn't at 50%, it had to be. If shit, that had to be around 50%, bro. Brian, the mind eraser Norman, that's crazy. Let me see. Um, Damn, I forgot what I was gonna look up. That's how you know I'm getting tired. Oh yeah, let me see if they came out with the punch stats yet. I don't think they got it up yet, but that was nasty. Let me tell you that. Ralph said, I genuinely think Norman carried him to the fifth to give the Japanese fan a show. He could have stopped Jen quicker. Get the fuck out of here. Kyle, where you seen them stats at, bro? He said 58% power punches. That might be the highest percentage I've ever seen in a world title fight, bro. Where did you see that? Ain't no way. CompuBox website? Word. Bro, this nigga not playing, bro. God damn. Brian Norman landed total punches 40.2%. Power punches 58%, bro. Bro, Jen need to stay away from boxing, bro. That is the highest percentage that I think I've ever seen in my life. So that means damn near 60%. Every five punches he threw, he landed three. What the fuck? Bro, Jen need to stay away from boxing, bro. Listen, if you care about your life, YSN, what up? Jen, I know you don't understand English and all that. Stay away from boxing, brother. Stay away from boxing. That's wild. That's wild. If you care about your life and preserving your health for after boxing, I think you need to stop now, bro. You getting hit with 60% of the fucking power punches that Brian's a heavy puncher, bro. No wonder why you got packed up in fucking 5 rounds, cause he couldn't fucking miss. So you getting hit with heavy shit and the accumulation, bro. He's a one punch knockout artist and he accumulating damage on you. You need to stay away from boxing, brother. Like I don't know what's wrong. Like he literally like a punch that he literally a heavy bag, bro. I done seen niggas miss hitting the heavy bag more than Brian Norman missed on you, nigga. God damn. That's brutal. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage, brothers and sisters. That might be Jen last fight. But at the same time, do we really expect him to remember much getting brutally knocked out like that while being under a concussion right now? 58% is heavy bag number. That's what I'm saying. If he come back, he not gonna be the same no more. That's highly probable, brother. Hey, why his son Brian Norman commented on my video? I guess he didn't like what I had to say, pointing out the hypocrisy, contradictions, and all that. He didn't like what I had to say. He taking some time off for sure. If his people love him, he definitely need to take time off. I don't think, to be honest with you, I think he need to just chill. Like he just need to chill. Lexi, what up? Hopefully, but I'm really praying and hoping that this man regains his memory as like his concussion heals. You feel me? All right, Jamel, I'm gonna send you the link right now. Let me pull this shit from my notes real quick. I'm gonna send it to your messages, Jamel, to your text. Fuck. Come and get some cash. Yeah, little baby, that's a whole lot of ass. Got me feeling like Steve Nash with a milk mustache. Damn, I'm MVP, yeah. Make catch some switch, yeah. Yeah, why this shit not coming up? Oh man, this shit acting up. There we go. All right, man, I just sent it over to you. Who you got in the trilogy, Bivol or Better Beef? I got Bivol. Think Bivol's going. I think Bivol gonna really put it together this time. I think it. I think it took them 2 fights to figure it out. I think he gonna dominate in trilogy. Just my opinion. I think he got. And I told you guys going into the second fight that he was capable of making the. He had the versatility within his game to make the adjustments to defeat Better Beef. I thought Better Beef was just a one-dimensional, type fighter, but that one dimension in itself is very dangerous. I feel like Bivol had more tools, and because he had more tools, I feel like he could neutralize Better Beef's style. And even though Better Beef still has some moments in the rematch, uh, you know, if Bivol makes an adjustment to neutralize that style, I don't really feel like Bivol could do anything outside what he mainly does to counteract that. So I thought that, you know, I thought Bivol could have got it. I was very confident in Bivol's abilities to beat him, and I thought he did. I thought he edged him out. I thought Bivol edged him out the first time. The second time, Bivol got it. I think in the trilogy he'll get it as well. I don't know if that link working, Jamel. Let me know. If anything, I'll see if I can put it in the chat or something. Let's see. I don't think it's sent. me see if I can send it to myself. Let me try it again. Tito, what up, brother? I hope everything's well with you, man. Salute, salute. Hold on real quick, y'all. Give me a quick second. I'm going to just send it through my phone. I think I got it. I tried to send it through my laptop, but it wasn't working. I think something wrong with my iMessage on here, but I just sent it to you through my phone. So it should work. Only thing StreamYard good at. No, that's a fact. I mean, all StreamYard gotta do is drop their prices, man. That's all they gotta do. They don't drop them prices, a nigga ain't budging. Tripping. Was it 40 plus a month? You bugging for all that. I can just go on live here for free. Tripping, guys. And I heard there's better streaming joints than StreamYard, but I haven't looked into it yet. Anonymous, you got Bivol too? Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I just feel like he's just more capable of making adjustments. So if a nigga one-dimensional and somebody else capable of making adjustments, that guy that's capable of making adjustments, let's say he make the adjustment. The guy who's one-dimensional, he gonna be stuck in his ways. I sent it to your messages, bro. I sent it to your text. iMessage. You need me to send it to you on IG? Yeah, I think it's more than 40 though. It's like 44, 45, some crazy shit like that. I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. You tripping. I took my payment option right up out there, John. You ain't get it through text, Mel? Oh shit. All right, bet. Let me see if it worked. Yo, what's going on, brother?
I'm fucking orphaned. Now I'm looking
I'm chilling, man. How you feeling?
man, I'm alright.
Cool, cool, cool. What's on your mind, man?
The same way you was in your comments. That's me.
All right.
Yeah, the one thing about boxing today is motherfuckers ain't enjoying their wins. It's like if you get a big win, right? You defend your title in another country. Bro, focus on your win. Why are you focused on another man? You know what I'm saying? Like, boxing's hard enough as is. And there's going to be some times where you have some highs and some lows. Enjoy your highs.
Same. Yeah, I could hear you. Let me see. I don't know what they hearing though. Oh yeah, it's shot. Yeah, it's shot.
Oh, shit. I'm in the crib with the Wi-Fi. Oh, man. What about now, y'all? All right, I'm going to come back out and come in.
All right, bet. We gotta see. Y'all can hear me though, right? How's my joint? How I'm sounding? I'm choppy. How I'm sounding? I'm choppy. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Let me know. Let me know. Can y'all hear me? Let me know. Let me know. You.
Is that better?
I'm about to see right now. Yeah. Let me know. Let me know. Here. You. Is that better? All right, keep talking. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let me see. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I was saying was, I feel like he's not enjoying his win. He's made his son's career as of late about, and the son too has made their career as of late about Jaron Ennis. When boxing is hard as is, so you will have highs and lows. Enjoy your highs. Don't make your highs about another man. You know what I'm saying? Another fight, especially a fight that is not going to happen anytime soon. Here's the reality, yo. You turn on the fight for whatever reason, whether logical or illogical, right? You didn't want that to be your first defense. Because one, you said you didn't like the money. Two, then your hand turned around and wasn't healed properly, right? And so you go into a fight with Derek Quavis. Right now, you're trying to paint a picture that dude is ducking you now. But the reality is, they reached out to you to make a deal. You didn't. You decided not to go in that direction. Then you decided to take 2 fights in the interim. Not to mention, after the Derek Quavis fight, you said that he's a bitch if he didn't fight you next. Then you took another fight.
And
This isn't,
he said that he not gonna sit here and wait for nobody, but then he expected Boost to wait for him.
and that's the issue that I have, is that you ran your play however you wanted to run your play. But now when the shoe's on the other foot, you somehow feel some kind of way. Like, I don't, that's the part that I don't understand. And
Me neither.
that's what I've been trying to echo to him, is like, bro, like, you made your decision. And I said to you, we were on Mill City Boxing. You're not going to wait. What happens if he doesn't want to wait? And then he said, it is what it is. It is what it is. But we can be his next fight, though. Mark, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, bro. I knew this was coming, y'all. I knew this was coming. To a lot of people, I was playing coy. I knew what time it was. Once Mario Barrios decided to fight Manny Pacquiao, that was it, yo. I'm letting y'all know now. That
That's
was
what I
it.
said. I said that was the nail in the coffin. That right there.
Now, is what he's saying about the weight and shit? Of course, that's true, right? But the fact of the matter is, guys will sacrifice and put themselves at risk to make history for things that they want. But once he fought Manny Pacquiao, bro, that just lets you to 147 undisputed is a fucking pipe dream, yo. It's a pipe dream. And so what the fuck am I? I'm going to kill myself to fight T.O. I'm gonna kill myself to fight Norm. I can't get what I want to get. And then you got to worry about with the Norman shit. You telling me you gonna fight me, but you said you was gonna fight me last time. You said you won the last time, and it didn't go the way that I wanted it to go. And so the longer I wait, the longer I put myself at risk. So how the fuck do I know that you gonna be a man of your word? And for me, I'm not
Same
even
point I
saying
made.
Norman.
Same
I ain't
point I
saying
made.
Norman's scared. I'm saying the business of boxing, says not to go in there and fight Boots right now. Your pop taught me a lot. You will make your first title defense against a dude that you already sparred. They can talk their shit. They know what time it is. Whether he can win the fight or not, they know what time it is. You know when something's a difficult fight. And you act like he's saying that he'll knock Boots out and that Boots ain't that good, but he's acting like Boots is good.
Yeah,
So you
it's a
tell
fact.
me, man.
No, you on point, and I've echoed the same opinion. You feel what I mean? Like I genuinely feel like, and they've contradicted themselves on multiple occasions with this whole situation because I remember Senior was coming around acting like fighting in Philly was such a big thing for him. You know what I mean? Like he made it seem like it was such an issue to be fighting here, but you ain't had no problem fighting San Tillin. You know what I mean? In his territory, you ain't had no problem fighting Sasaki in his home country. So obviously, you know what I mean? The setting isn't the thing that's, that much of a concern for you. Y'all don't have no problem stepping into nobody's backyard. I think that he used it as an avenue to try to get himself up out of the fight. That's just what I personally feel. What I was gonna ask you is, you saying that these guys not enjoying their wins, and you know what I mean, he need to be worried about his win and not be focused on Boots so much. What I'm gonna ask you is, do you think that's because they have some sort of guilty conscience because they know they moving shaky? What do you think that is? Why do you think that they so hell bent on talking about Boots? Why do you think that is?
People have an unrealistic perspective of Senior, right? They think he's just this guy that just runs his mouth. No, he's a smart dude, right? His son's popularity has increased dramatically since being in a storyline with Jaron Ennis. The reality is, in boxing, if you attach yourself to somebody that's popular and make yourself somebody that's popular rival, then it will increase your popularity.
Mm-hmm.
Terrence Crawford was not as popular as Earl Spence, but with that rivalry, their popularity grew. Um, Devin
Pacquiao
Haney,
Floyd probably the biggest example.
Pacquiao Floyd is the number one example. People want to act. Pacquiao was not a household name until he attached himself to Floyd Mayweather,
Facts.
and you see that works. And the reality is, nobody was checking for Brian Norman when he was fighting Quentin Randall, and even when the Santillan fight, I was probably one of the only dudes that said that I thought he was going to stop Giovanni Santillan. Giovanni Santillan was being overhyped after that Alexis Roca win, but I knew that Brian Norman, just based off of styles and athletic ability, I thought that the angles would give him problems, angles on the inside, because Brian does do a good job of shifting on the inside, right? And so nobody was really checking for him after that. But now, when you add him to a Jaron Ennis storyline in which Terrence Crawford fans were trying to disassociate themselves from a Boots storyline, now you give Boots a rival. Undefeated, coming off of a good win, and a dad that likes to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Boxing fans love a dude on here just talking shit. And so now you got Brian Norman being looked at as a premium guy in the division and a must see guy. You add that with Taylor being in opposition, guys that's not going to move around that much. He's a big puncher. He's fighting guys that want to punch back and guys that's going to be available. Dramatic knockouts. And he parks and just like, that shit was crazy.
That was super sad, bro. They talking about he can't remember up to 6 weeks of his memory, and yeah, that's really sad. But yeah. So you think that it's just that's just Brian Norman just being on his promotional shit, I guess. Just getting his son name popping. Cool, cool,
I
cool.
think that, yeah, but you got Brian Norman, the trainer, and he's done a better job of promoting his son than Top Rank ever did. And Top Rank might be the greatest promotional company of all time, but that's just the truth. They've dropped the ball when it comes to Norman. But then you got the management. The management ain't the dad. The management is going to make management decisions. What's in the best interest of our client? And taking 1.7. Think about this. The highest he had made was 100,000 at that point.
Right.
You can say Boots is an easy fight. Like, you can hit me with all the skibbity dibbity. Your eyes and the movement don't lie, right? So, damn, should I get a couple of defenses at this minimum? Should I go overseas and take this $1 million fight with a dude who, if you watch boxing, you know that Jen Sasaki was a bag ass, right? Should I go take this million and then revisit Boots a couple of fights down the line now that I've made my money? Now that the fight is bigger, now I get to cash out. But the monkey wrench in their plans is he didn't wait. He didn't wait for you. He didn't wait for you to run your play.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fact. And I was also thinking about it from this perspective, like, wow, they could make the 1.5, 1.7 off of Boots, or they could fight 3 easy guys and probably get the same total that he would have got off of Jaron Ennis. That's the perspective that I was thinking about. Let me see. Yeah. So I just find it so funny how the way they and this ain't really towards like the Normans, but I ain't gonna lie, I was caught off guard on, so I don't know why. At this point, nothing should surprise me, especially with boxing fans. But like, I'm hearing these boxing guys talking about, like, they really trying to push this narrative that Boots moved up to avoid Brian Norman. I'm like, bro, this shit is
Who was
crazy.
the
Like, y'all
boxing guy?
just recommended him to move. Y'all just told him to move up after he looked like how he looked on the scale against Stanionis. They're like, bro, he need to move up, bro. Yo, you can't stay at 147 looking like that, man. You just need to go ahead and move up your next fight. He go ahead and follow through with that, and now they saying, oh man, he should have stuck around for one more fight, man. You know, he avoiding Brian Norman. It's like, bro, how can y'all do that when y'all can just make complete 180s and then try to that should do not be adding up,
Wait,
bro.
who were some of the channels?
You want me to say him?
Yeah,
I seen this dude, like I was just saying it, the boy True School Sports. The
that's
boy
that's that's BT.
BT, that's his name, BT.
Yeah,
All right,
Brendan.
cool. There was a lot of comments too that I seen on, like on Twitter. That's where it get real toxic at.
Yeah,
Sean Zatel was actually pushing that shit too. I ain't even gonna lie to you, he was kind of backing BT play. That was the only ones I seen. I don't really watch too many channels, bro, to be honest with you. But that was like a lot, so.
here's the reality, right? You got some dudes that are going to be overly critical of certain fighters. And I'm being respectful because I like those two dudes, right? But certain media outlets, and not speaking on them, but I'm going to say Dan Rayfield, right? Dan Rayfield got the Virgil Ortiz running the shit wrong. So now he's on the assassinate Boots' character. Wait, is the audio still back up?
Yeah. Yeah. You see something. Say something, man.
Yo,
Yeah.
I'm going to hop on in.
All right. Say something, man. Yeah, try. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. You,
Is that better, y'all?
you sound clear to me. Let me see what the comments say. You said it's all good, y'all. Said it's all
All
good,
right.
man.
So I don't know where we left off, but I'm gonna say this, right?
We was
So
talking about Dan Rayfield on a
yeah,
vendetta.
when dudes get something wrong and when they get proved wrong, and he said, yeah, man, there were contracts with Virgil and Boots, and bro, he never agreed to that fucking fight. Dude wasn't even in the fucking gym, yo. So we talking about this is December. The fight's in February. Dan was like, yeah, there was contract. He wasn't even in the fucking gym consistently. Fuck are you talking about? So you get these journalists with these fucking vendettas, man. And then now you public enemy number one, and no matter what you do. Here's the truth. Sure. Guys that have access to certain guys, they are going to be pro them because of the access given, as opposed to guys that they do not have access to.
Right.
Iron Norman Sr. goes on a lot of platforms. He shows a lot of love. But you can't tell me that last week you said Boots was scared and moving up to 154 for Teofimo Lopez, and then turn around this week and say he moved up for Brian Norman. Which one is it?
Yeah.
You can't tell me 5 months ago he was scared of Virgil Ortiz, and that's why he wasn't moving up to 54, to now turn around and saying the reason why he's moving to fucking 54 is because he's scared of Devin, he's scared of Tio, and he's scared of Brian Norman. Tell me when that makes fucking sense.
It don't at
That's
all.
you consistently moving the goalposts.
Yep. That just show these motherfuckers be having agendas, bro, and they just be blatantly targeting guys just because, bro. Just because they don't like them. Or maybe because they don't have access to them, which is crazy to me too. But I see a lot of outlets like that, like ES News, like Ellie Sheckbeg, literally be targeting dudes because he had trouble getting a credential for one of their events or whatever the case is. Or he can't get
No,
an
but
interview.
Mark,
Like,
that's how these dudes carry it though, right? Is it a black girl loss or does she owe you for ice? I know you remember that, yo.
say that again?
Is it a black girl loss or does she owe you for ice? Jay-Z talking about Nas. Which one is it? Is he scared of Tio? Is he scared of Norman? Or is he scared of Virgil? Or is he scared of Dev? Which one is it? Is he scared of 40? Is he scared of 54? Is he scared of 47?
Is that what people
It
saying?
can't
He's
be both.
scared. They say he's scared of Dev now?
They said he left the division because like Dev, Tio, and Norman want to fight. But these the same motherfuckers that said he's always trying to bully the smaller guys. He's always fighting smaller guys. They was just saying that shit 6 months ago. Watch him bring up a smaller guy to fight. Oh, he want to fight after Virgil. Oh, he want to fight Tio. Oh, he always trying to fight the small dudes. Now that he don't want to fight Tio. Oh, you scared of a guy that can move. Come on, man.
They trying to find every angle, bro. They so caught up in the hate, they don't even know they contradicting themselves, bro. Shit is insane.
And you know whose fan base it really is though?
I know what you're gonna say. Go ahead.
Terrence Crawford fans.
Yeah.
And that's the God honest truth. People will say, "Oh, Mill, you a Crawford hater?" No, I'm not. I'm rooting for Terrence Crawford against Canelo Alvarez.
Me too.
But the reality is, for whatever reason, Terrence Crawford fans have never forgiven him, have never forgiven Boots for trying to make a fight with Terrence Crawford and wanting to fight Terrence Crawford. They have never forgiven him for that.
I don't
They
get
they
why
will
that's
go out.
such a big issue. Like,
You want to know the truth? Because they thought Terrence Crawford was different. They thought Terrence Crawford was this warrior of the old code, this dude that's just Omar from The Wire, that's in the middle of the fucking block looking for all the smoke. Well, here's the truth, right? The truth is Terrence Crawford is like every other fucking fighter. As soon as they get the leverage, they become businessmen. None of them are different. None of them. Floyd, not different. Ray Leonard, not different. Crawford, not different. Thurman, not different. And guess what? When Boots become the super A-side, he gonna be doing niggas the same way. I don't give a fuck about light. It's the truth. Once dudes become the A-side, then all of a sudden, well, I gotta sit down with my team to see what makes sense.
Yeah.
That fight doesn't make sense for me right now. I don't care how many times this fucking dude calls me out. Bro, I can make $5 million fighting a paraplegic. You a good young fighter. So if I'm gonna risk that shit, no, you gotta give me 15. You can't give me, oh, young boy, you don't generate 15? Well, get the fuck off my line then.
Yeah. This is actually a good question that's directed towards you, Jamil. It says, this is somebody by the name of Kyle Hayden 999. He says, do you think Boots made the announcement at the right time? I think it's good he made it before Norman fight rather than after.
Yo, I guess I'm about to break some news, yo. The announcement was supposed to come 3 to 4 weeks ago. The decision was made. The decision was made 3 to 4 fucking weeks ago, yo.
Damn. Shit.
Yo, if y'all watch my shit, do you think I was putting up him lifting weights by happen chance? The decision was made 3 or 4 fucking weeks ago. So the narrative that, oh yeah, he dropped that news right during fucking Norman's fucking fight week because he didn't want to fight him. The reality is, like, what you think he didn't fight T.O. for? Like, do people forget the T.O. shit 3-4 weeks ago? The fight didn't happen.
His mind was already made up.
Come on, y'all.
Damn.
The business of boxing caused him to delay the announcement because, of course, now you're jumping in another division, and now you got the sanctioned bodies. You're trying to secure opponents. The whole nine.
Shit. Nah, you just broke some news on him, man. Shit, it is what it is. I appreciate you being transparent. Gervonta Davis is going off on social media right now.
About what?
Huh?
About what?
He says, I'm loyal to the core. No one will ever make me go against Al. So I guess that was he said that before. Then it's a video of Carmel and Zach Quinn going back and forth in person. And then he says, Carmel is all hype. I got Zach Quinn. I feel like Zay, a real trench baby, something. He's big Cuzzo. He's something big Cuzzo trying to be. So that was a shot at Shakur. By the way, I never seen Zay fight. like what? It was Gervonta trolling, bro. That ain't gonna lie, that's funny as shit. He said, I got Zach Quinn, Carmel all hype, Zay a trench baby. I never seen Zay fight. Tank is saying this right now. He literally tweeting, like I'm seeing it pop up on my phone. Cause he be deleting tweets and shit, so I got his notifications on. He said, somebody wrote, but what if Uncle Al and Turkey work together? Oh, this is surprising. Tank, the people want to talk about this. Tank says, that's fine with me for sure. Okay. So that's possible. And then he says, somebody wrote, I think Carmel stops him. He said, Zay's going to box his head off. Okay.
Yo, I got a question. Why you don't like Carmel, yo?
So from what I understand, because Carmel rocking with Floyd, but that's his promoter. So Tank on some type shit where he not friends with nobody. That especially if they're associated with Floyd. If he don't fuck with Floyd, no. Carmel had posted something like he was like, oh, I'm always rocking with Floyd type shit. And Tank was like, oh, all right. Well, you not about to be on since you want to act like that. you're not gonna fight on my undercard. And apparently he got Carmel up off his undercard and shit like that. And ever since then, he been throwing little shots at Carmel. And Carmel
I
been
can see
keeping
that.
it humble, but you could tell Carmel getting a little frustrated too, because they was like, "Oh, what do you think about being like the next Gervonta 2.0?" He said, "Man, I'm not Tank, bro. Like, I'm not Tank. I'm me." Like that type shit. So you could tell Carmel trying to keep it humble, but he getting frustrated too. And then he wrote, "I don't care for boxing. Y'all can have the number one spot." That's what Tank said. He just tweeting as we talking.
Tank's a tweaker, yo.
Yeah, he going
Tank's
off
a
right
fucking
now.
tweaker.
That's how you know he
Yo,
ain't Tank.
hey Marlon, exactly. He dissing 19-year-old. Hey, yo, I don't care if y'all Tank fans. That's not a good look, yo.
It's not half the shit Tank do ain't a good look, to be honest,
Yo,
to
and
be honest with
dudes
you.
be riding with it because
They
it's
be
him.
with
They're like,
it,
nah,
bro.
dog.
That let me know that they not really boxing fans for real, bro. Like if you back in that, you don't give a fuck about the sport. You just care about Tank, bro. To be honest
Yeah.
with you.
Young boy just be minding his business though.
He don't say shit back to him. He just keep
Like,
poking, bro.
yo, and the crazy thing, right, is I got a chance to talk to him. I like him. He's a good
Who?
kid.
Carmel?
Carmel, he's a good kid, yo.
He been giving me the run around. But yeah, cool.
Yo, online interviews, bro, is always the hardest. Don't
You gotta pull up on him. Yeah, I know.
listen,
You
listen.
told
Don't
me
even
already. Yeah, I
don't
know.
take it personal, bro. Online interviews are hardest to get. These niggas are terrible, yo.
I get it.
You put like if you run into them, put the camera, bro, they'll give you like a nice 10, 20 minutes. But online, Jones, man, nah, bro.
Yeah, this is the highest current viewership I've ever gotten on a live. I think it went up to 102. So that's dope.
Yeah, I've seen 102 people. Yeah.
Yeah,
See?
that's the highest I've ever got.
Progression, man.
That's what
Progression.
happened. That's what happens when YSM graced the channel. You know what I'm saying?
No, it don't even say why it's him in the title. Don't do it.
No, I'm
Don't
just
do that.
fucking
This
around.
is all you.
Nah, I appreciate that, bro. But
Yeah, but
shit. What you was gonna say?
nah, my my point is, right? I want to see Brian Norman run his play, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, y'all didn't take the fight. It's cool. It don't gotta be this long, drawn out storyline. It's over. For whatever reason, you decided to go in a different direction. Cool. He decided to go in a different direction. Let it go.
That's what made me think they salty for real, or they got like they got some type of guilty conscience. Like they know they went about it like suckers, so they keep trying to like, you know what I mean, address the shit to make it seem like they don't feel away. The whole time they do feel away. That is just me though. Like if you keep
Bro,
bringing shit up when you was clearly in the wrong, and you know you was in the wrong, I don't know. It's giving like like salty vibes, man.
yo, and the same dudes that saying he ducked is gonna be the same dudes that said that Floyd ducked Pack. It's like this is an ongoing thing. This is boxing, right? Nobody leaves boxing unscathed. Everybody is going to say somebody ducked.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is, bro. They said
Yeah.
Bud ducked Boots. They say Charlo ducked Bud. They said Spence ducked Boots. They said Spence ducked Bud. They said Thurman ducked Spence Boots and Bud.
Yeah.
Bro,
Damned if you do, damned if you don't, bro. You go about it one way, they gonna say something about this. You go about
yes.
it this way, they gonna say something about this. So that's why I said in the video I put out earlier, bro. I'm like, Boost, just do what the fuck is best for you and your career. If you out here getting nutritionists and shit, that's already a red flag, in my opinion. You know what I mean? If you didn't come into the game with a nutritionist and all of a sudden you hiring that, now I'm paying attention, like, what okay, what's going on? So I already seen that. Then he said he went and did blood work. And they pretty much telling the man that he's malnourished. He's underperforming. His blood test ain't coming back right. So like if that's the case, that's what he said on your interview, right?
Yeah, the funny thing is, he could have expounded upon that. He chose not to. And I'm gonna just say
Mm.
that.
Yeah, shit.
Yo,
Damn.
question. Terrence Crawford in 9 years, how many weight classes did he go up in 9 years?
4. Was that it or no? No,
I
no,
think
no,
so.
no, no. You talking about in 9 years or like his career?
No, in a 9-year span, to Terrence Crawford, to me, moved up 4 weight classes.
4 weight classes. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 weight classes in 9 years.
Yeah. Boost moving up 1 in 9 years.
Shakur Stevenson in 9 years has moved up 3 weight classes. Devin Haney in 9 years have moved up, well, in 7 years has moved up 3 weight classes. Teofimo Lopez, 3 weight classes. Well, 2.
2.
He's talking about moving up to 47.
Yeah.
Um,
So 3 soon.
Canelo Alvarez, 3.
4. 54 to 75.
Was that 9 years? Was 54 9? Yes. Shit. You're right. 54, 60, 68, 75. 4. And I can keep going. And so somehow Boots, who you said needed to move up and should move up, now that he's moving up, it's because of Brian Norman. So it's not because he's been at the weight 9 years.
That's a great point. I'm gonna have to steal that point from you, Mil. That's a great point.
So everybody
Great
else
point.
had to move up. You just saw Keyshawn Davis miss weight by 4.3, 4.9 pounds. You saw Shakur Stevenson move up. You seen Devin Haney look like a ghoul. Ryan Garcia, 4 and 3 weight classes, right? You seen Devin Haney have 2 fights. I'm sorry. Devin Haney had 1 fight at 140 pounds.
Correct.
Rolly Ramirez moved up 3 weight classes. But
Rolly
all of a
Romero about to
sudden,
grad at WBA. He about to be strapped up.
Charlo in 9 years have moved up 3 weight classes. David Morrell in 5 years has moved up 2 weight classes. David Benavidez in 5 years have moved up 2 weight classes. But somehow, Jaron Ennis moved up because he was scared of Teofimo Lopez and Brian Norman.
Yeah. Fuck outgrowing a weight class in 9 years. You
Nah,
just know
man.
them motherfuckers.
Yo, but then, right? If he performs bad, oh, no excuses. You should have moved up then.
That's exactly what I said. I said, bro, if he was to underperform, they'd have been like, oh man, you should have just moved up. Oh, he a weight bully. You should have just moved up, man. You gotta listen to your body, man.
Boxing fans are confused. They do not know what they want. And when you understand this one fact, a lot of journalists, a lot of people with YouTube fans are nothing but boxing fans with channels.
Facts.
Sean is a hardcore boxing fan.
Yeah.
BT's a hardcore boxing fan. Boxing fans have certain perspectives that do not align with the business of boxing or what makes sense for the actual fighter. And mind you, I fuck with Sean, I fuck with BT, but if the person's having trouble making the weight, if the person is coming out now, and you know fighters fraud all the time. Oh no, I had a great camp. I'm perfectly fine. Oh, I made weight good. Everything's straight. You know it more than I do. Oh yeah, no injuries. No. I was whooping everybody ass in sparring. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. That's the first thing that popped in my head. Yeah, sure, buddy. Yeah, really?
Oh
All
man,
right.
Eddie Alvarez said it's the timing. What about the timing, Eddie?
That was one of the comments that Brian Norman left on my channel as well. He was like, "Oh, Boost said that he was fine after the fight, like in terms of weight. And y'all crazy."
And y'all said y'all
I'm
would take
like,
the fight.
facts. They said that. Yeah. Yup. He said that shit. And I'm like, bro, that and Brian Norman and what frustrated me about the whole thing is that me and him share something in common. We was both fighters at one point in our life. Like I wasn't a pro, obviously, but I had my time in boxing. ain't no way you gonna sit here and tell me that you ain't ever cap about your weight before, or cap about having a good training camp, cap about not having injuries. You lying if you saying you didn't. Like you're
And the
not about to
crazy
sit
thing,
here and give your enemy any ammo.
fuck no. And the crazy thing is, I asked him about that. Like you said, your shit was fine, and he had to admit that fighters be lying.
But now he's trying to use that against Jaron Ennis to push a narrative that his son is being avoided by Jaron Ennis. This shit crazy, man.
How can you turn down the fight? It's just that simple.
Bro,
You
but
turn down the fight.
when you bring that up, fans try they really on this. I never thought that Boost would be getting this type of treatment, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Well, because he got everything that a boxing fan would want in a fighter. But somehow, some way, they really they just completely ignoring that fact right there. They know that fact's in front of them, that he
Huh.
actually offered that fight, but they're literally turning a blind eye to it and just sticking to whatever the fuck the Norman Senior saying, which is crazy. First, Eddie Alvarez. Wait, what? He said first Boost ducks Ortiz, now running from Norman.
Okay, so with that particular narrative, right, Eddie. So Eddie Hearn reached out to Virgil Ortiz about Jaron in his debut. Virgil Ortiz is not ready, and I think Virgil's returning in September. Did Virgil just duck Boots?
I brought up that point too.
And Eddie, by the way, Brian Norman turning down career high money. Did Brian Norman duck Boots? If you're a guy that just feels like turning down a fight is ducking, then cool. While I don't feel that way, if that's how you equate turning down offers, then shit, be my guest. But what I don't want to see is inconsistencies in your line of thinking.
Right, you gotta keep that same energy with everybody if that's what you think. Tago says 2 contracts sent is 2 call-outs. Norman's full of shit. Shout out to Tago. But all right, man, I'm about to wrap up on here. Jamil, I appreciate you coming through as always. You got any last thoughts for the people?
Um, well, I would love to see Eddie's response, but I'm not sure
No,
if
no,
he's
no.
going to respond.
Let's wait for that then. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but no. My only thoughts is people make business decisions all the time. I'm not mad at Brian Norman and them for deciding to go a different route, but at the same time, if you decide to go a different route, then you have to live with that decision. You can't go a different route and then play the victim. You can't say, I'm not waiting for anybody. I'm not waiting for no man. I'm Brian Norman, far from normal. And then say why he didn't wait. And then paint the picture like, oh, he announced that he was moving up a week before my fight. Y'all don't find that weird? Wasn't a real announcement. Eddie Hearn just slipped up and said something that he really did. He said it super casually.
Yeah. When he said that, I was like, wow. I don't know. I be feeling like
No,
Eddie and
Ralph.
Boots. I be feeling like Eddie and Boots don't be on the same page sometimes. See, like so on the way out. Now when Boots at 54, Virgil all of a sudden unavailable.
No, Virgil's legitimately hurt. He's legitimately hurt.
Heard Ortiz recovery from surgery. He did have his surgery recently, right?
Yeah, but no, Eddie, that's a duck though, right? If you turn on a fight, it's a duck, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
big
shit.
time. They
Y'all didn't have a problem with Boots coming back less than 2 months after he had a fight.
and wasn't in the gym.
If you didn't have a problem with that, then you can't have a problem with this, right? Like the February 22nd date, Virgil was fighting on that date with or without Boots, right, Mark?
Yeah.
That fight was that date was initially for Terrence Crawford and Virgil. Then they tried to get Sebastian Fedor when Crawford said no. And then they tried to get Boots. Boots had fought on November 9th. And so they tried to bring him back February 22nd. Think about what I just said.
Boots had just finished with Karen too. Yeah.
So Virgil had fought in August, and then Boots had fought in what was it, July?
I just had this shit right here.
I think it was July 12th.
Okay.
So Boots comes back in November. Virgil comes back. He was supposed to come back in December, but wasn't ready. And so they pushed him to February.
It was July 13th.
July 13th. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He fought David Evanesian July 13th. Then he came back around and fought Karen for the second time November 9th. So they was
And
trying
so
to make
you
him do
offer what is that? That's 3 fights in 4 months?
2 fights in 4 months. From July to November.
All right,
And
so
that
wait, you got August, September, October. Okay. And then, so, okay, 3 fights in 6 months then.
shit. So between July 13th was the Evanesian fight, and then April 12th. So from July to April, he had 3 fights.
No, I'm talking about they wanted him to come back in February
Oh,
22nd.
yeah. Yep.
But that'd be 3 fights in 6 months.
Yep. You on the money. Yep. 6 to 7 months, they was trying to have him do 3 fights.
So Eddie, that's a duck. That and you can sign off after that.
Gervonta Davis is saying Lamont Roach is cheating. Man, what is this nigga talking about? Let's see what he's talking about.
I'm cooked, yo.
Oh, so he just so somebody said boxing don't need you, my boy. Gervonta said boxing is not entertaining enough without me, dumbass. Okay. Somebody has sent them a DM and said Lamont Roach is working with a well-known PED cheater. I think he meant to say Heredia. He worked with Victor Conti at Balco Champ.
Wait, he said Lamont's working with Memo?
That's what somebody DM'd him and told him.
No, bro.
I might have to put some bread on Lamont. It's like, no, it's not funny. But Gervonta said they do everything to win. So that's what he said. Heredia? I think he meant to say Heredia.
Memo.
I think he meant to say Memo Heredia, but they spelled it Himedia, like Hemedia.
Yo, now I need to check that. Now I need to check the line, yo. Yo, hey, yo, y'all might want to check that line right now. You might
They
want to
trying to
talk
pack Tank, bro. They trying to pack that nigga Tank, bro. Oh my god. Oh, that's just somebody DM'd him. He wrote they do everything to win. So that was his response, but that's crazy. Yeah, but I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true, but if it's true, yeah. Might just put a spare hundo. Just a spare.
Yeah. Wait, wasn't Benavidez working with him?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yes.
Shit.
Yo,
Wow.
Memo used to work with Victor. They had a falling out.
I remember that.
If it, to my knowledge, Memo did time, or he might have read it. I think he ratted on Vic.
Bad John. But I don't think this dude. I don't think he want. Yeah, he copped out. But
Eddie, where you go?
he copped out. He backed out. He
Yeah,
definitely
Tago. He
backed out.
told. Yeah, I'm done though, Mark. I just want to see, like, bro, it's over.
Yeah,
If it's over, then it's over. Shit, if you want him so bad, come to 54.
they ain't gonna do that, bro. He 24, man. He
So
24.
so then run your play.
That's exactly what he need to do and stop worrying about shit. You know what I mean? You got whatever choice you make, you gotta deal with the consequences that come as a result of that. Even if it means criticism, it is what it is. You made that. You made that bed. You gotta lay in it. So,
And that
I
and,
mean,
and that's my only thing. You you didn't wait 2 weeks. You took the payday. Okay.
uh,
Yeah, I guarantee you Mario Barrios is gonna take this shit like a G. Probably be like, oh man, yeah, man. Wish him the best of luck, man. Yeah, I understand why. No, Eddie, tell me. Nah, bro, don't know. Don't say I'm listening to y'all. Eddie, no. You said him ducking is him. Mind you, it wasn't his fight date. It was a fight date that he was trying to be fit on. One, he'll be moving up. Two, he'll be moving up to face somebody that is never fought for a world title. Three, that will be his third fight in 6 months. But that's ducking.
yep, sounds about right. But man, I'm good for the night, man. I'm fucking exhausted. I gotta get up at 7. I need to
I
go
feel
even get
bad
me
for you,
some
bro, because you
sleep.
be up late, and you know I get up whenever I get up.
It's all good, man. That
You're a
come with the
corporate
game.
dude, man.
Yeah, man. I gotta do what I gotta do, man. It is what it is. And I got a son, so I gotta get him ready. It'd be a whole
Oh,
little process.
I
But
remember those days,
I
man.
ain't got him this weekend though, so I'm gonna make sure I catch up on some Z's. You know what I mean? But
Before I go, who you got? Jahad Tucker or Truck?
I was saying Jahad. I was saying Jahad. But this truck might be. I don't know what's been going on with Truck. He's been having like some underwhelming performances, in my opinion. I do think like one of the Johns that they had, I think they robbed him in one of them last Johns he had. But he also had another performance that he didn't look so good either. But Jahai, I don't know though. This is gonna be a good one because Jahai, he be pissing me off too because he do not listen to his corner, bro. And sometimes I feel like he put his heart ahead of his like his game plan, his strategy and shit like that. So I don't know. I'm gonna go with Jahai though. I'm gonna go with Jahai. I'll probably do a little bit more studying on the fight before I make like my final pick though.
I can't choose, yo. I cannot choose. I think that's a 50-50 fight. But yo, you want to hear something crazy?
So
Jahad Tucker, Vito Melnicki, they were all at 47, all with Virgil, Conor Ben, Boots, Rashidi, etc. Now them niggas is fighting at 60.
mm, how many years is that?
That was about 6 years ago.
Shit.
Remember,
Yeah.
Jesus was probably the first to move up.
Jesus Ramos, yep.
Yeah. No, Xander. I forgot Xander was at 47 too.
He was at 40.
Yeah. Virgil and Xander started at 40.
Virgil was at 40, yep. I
So
remember
this
that.
is Virgil's third division.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you gonna have me cooking tomorrow, bro. I'm gonna sign off, let you get some sleep, but you gonna have me cooking tomorrow.
All right, you just send me the link. I'll be there, brother.
All right, my man.
All right, man. Let me see. Shout out to my guy, Jamil Parker, for coming through and showing love as always, man. You feel what I mean? He's always welcome on the live, and he always brings that great conversation when it comes to the boxing talk. You feel what I mean? This was my most viewed live to date. I think it got up to 102 people, man. So that's absolutely amazing. I appreciate everybody that came through and supported as a result of this. You know, if you guys like the boxing conversation, if you like what this channel brings to you, feel free to hit the subscribe button. As always, we do this on a regular basis. Oh shit, we hit 2.99K. Hold on. Where are we at with the subscribers? Hold on. We 8 subscribers away from the 3K mark. Oh my goodness, man. This was a beautiful night. You know what I mean? It's gonna be worth the sleep that I'm not gonna get. You feel what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? We're gonna end this off on that note. Shout out to the nation, shout out to the mob. We be back with another live tomorrow night. And we're gonna continue discussing what's currently going on in the boxing world. Until then, y'all have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.